Happy Sunday. I'm the Grace Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today. We are going to get started on today's daily collective read in the next few minutes, but if you would like to get on the list for a reading today, the list is open and you will be the third person read for. Fourth person read for. It is 3 cards for a donation of 29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of 23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I do not read for across these apps: over pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book a private reading on my site. We are also doing 2 giveaways today. Our first giveaway is I will be doing a free reading when we're giving a reading to the highest gifter between now and the conclusion of the daily collective read. So if you are participating in that, I wish you a lot of luck in winning. The other giveaway we're doing is we will be doing a reading giveaway at 50K likes. So make sure you're tapping that screen if you're tuning in, and we'll get to 50K in no time. We'll be able to do that giveaway. Also, when you tap the screen, it encourages the app to push this live out to those who haven't received these messages before. So I also appreciate that as well. We're going to talk a little bit about what we've been seeing in the cards over the last few days before we start today's daily collective read. If you would like to catch any of those full readings, you can find them over on the place where we keep the videos. You can also find them over on the place where we keep the photos. You can also find them as a podcast over on my spot at Tarot Church and over on my Substack. But first and foremost, most importantly, how are you feeling right now? Scale of 1 to 10. There are no wrong answers. An 8. I like an 8, Haley. We're good with an 8. Hold on. Mercury's in Taurus. You guys, we're just going to go through it. I told you there's going to be a bit of this energy that feels a bit retrograde because the comments are a little sticking for me a little bit right now. Hi there. Welcome, Lana. Raquel, thank you for joining us. Grand Rising, Haley. So good to see you. Thank you for liking the live, Lana. Haley, eyeshadow is absolutely popping today. Thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you for those gifts, dear. Alex, so good to see you today. How have you been? A 5. It's okay. You know, we're gonna talk a little bit about this energy because we are coming out of a very intense full moon in Scorpio. And, one of the things we've been talking about is the fact that the Scorpio energy in Taurus season, it's not easy because it's working through how difficult change can be, right? It's about stepping out of your comfort zone. It's a lot of that, it's elbow grease kind of energy. And I was saying a few days ago that I was seeing kind of 2 different modalities coming out of the full moon, and I think that a lot of it has to do with the observation of watching the course of change. Now, and that was either looking backwards or looking forwards. It might have been easier if you're looking backwards, because the ability to look backwards and see and identify change can often be the moment of honoring how far one has come, right? And that can feel very energetically appreciative. But at the same time, that same work about identifying going forward, recognizing how far one still has to go, setting that intention in relationality to what it is that you're trying to create, or what it is that you're trying to build, or what it is you're trying to change about the self. It's the observation that change takes work, and work takes time, and building into that pathwork of consistency. It's not about, and potentially even working through some feelings of overwhelm. But I think that the catharsis point that we're seeing for a lot of this energy is understanding that, like pacing, like identifying and finding that pace that feels comfortable doesn't require something that feels like it's groundbreaking. It's appreciating. This is the type of moon where we have to appreciate the work that occurs over time. And that's why I would not be surprised right now if you're feeling a little testy, because we've got a lot of planets still hanging out in Aries. And the thing about Aries, which we've been talking about, is the same difficulty point that Taurus energy has around change, Aries often has around time. And we were actually talking a bit about the fact that there's a misconception as it relates to Aries energy. There's a misconception that Aries are impatient by nature. And it is a bit of a misconception, because the thing with Aries is Aries come with a very conflicted opinion of Saturn, right? A lot of Aries come here working through Saturn lesson, working through the path work. The time isn't against them. But that's why we see that like that point of discovery, that attunement point, right? Working through the difference of waiting versus patience is recognizing, and this is what we talk about with Aries. Aries recognize and build into the space of the patience that grows by recognizing and identifying progress, right? Aries doesn't come with a lot of patience, but that patience they're willing to put towards things that they see progress in, because it allows for it allows for the replenishment of patience. Now, that's why I would not be surprised if there were a lot of changes that were potentially also happening coming out or through this Scorpio full moon energy in Taurus, because it's working through, and we were hearing this a lot across all of the frequencies, always patient, never waiting. Because what is the difference that we experience between patience and waiting? Patience is productive, right? Patience is finding that sense of productivity as a manifestation is coming towards us. Waiting feels like a rut. It feels like a stagnation point. And so if you're doing that work right now, if you're recognizing and identifying, if you're feeling a rut, especially for those with Capricorn placements, because I was seeing a little bit of that there too. If you're working through like that point of motivation, I want you focusing on planning. I want you focusing on being goal oriented. I want you focusing on what moves you out of feeling like you're waiting and into something that feels like it is productive or progressive. It's a lot of that like watched pot never boils kind of energy. And for those with Pisces placements, this could be very difficult too, because we still see that this is kind of the remnant of a lot of those planets finally making that push, that final push into Aries, because the energy has just been moving back and forth on the meridian between Aries Pisces for a good portion of this year. So for Aries, working through the path work of change, healing from abandonment wounds. For Aries energy, healing through intimacy wounds, right? Pisces is saying come back, Aries is saying get out. Like there's too many planets in their house, healing in the space of being able to feel comfortable with energy and proximity, working through a lot of the past, as it were. And for those with Taurus placements right now, my poor Taurus babies, this could be difficult for you in your season, because it could be feeling like you're feeling like there's a lot of red flags happening right now due to the fact that there's so many planets in retrograde. So making sure that you're not feeling triggered, being energetically productive, not lashing out, but locking in, focusing on your goals. Goal orientation is going to be helpful right now. And this is having a different impact depending on where one finds oneself on the frequency cycles. Now, for masculine and feminine energy, and at the same time, it's also about like working through a lot of unprocessed stuff. And that unprocessed stuff has a lot to do with the Pluto in retrograde. And I feel like that's going to be happening. That's going to be happening until October. Okay. So if your dream space right now is wacky or wild, I am available for dream interpretations. I'll just put that out there. Okay. Because I have a feeling they're going to get interesting. Now, this is having a different impact depending on where you find yourself on the frequency cycles. Now, for masculine and feminine energy that is in separation, everything I keep on reading for the energy in separation, these are magician partnerships that are coming together right now. And what's beautiful and ironic about the fact that they're magician partnerships, as Saturn is pushing from Pisces into Aries, is they're operating the space of no illusions. These are energies that are healing from the illusion of rejection, understanding that if we are in our authenticity and someone does not like we see there, what they see there, then that is not a recrimination of our path work. That is protection, right? Because That ability of working on the self, understanding, working for so that the flaws become facets. The feeling of, again, building into Taurus energy, which is, again, operating in the sense that Taurus energy is majestic energy. It's recognizing one's own majesty. It's understanding the weight that one takes, right? It's not trying to, like, it's like, it's a lot of that. I'm very excited to tell you about what I'm working on kind of energy, right? It's navigating the space that when we are appreciative of the work that we're doing, we want to show it off. We want to articulate it. We want to talk about it. And if someone experiences aversion in that moment that we're talking about something or expressing something we're excited about, that's the energetic protection of someone that's not for us. It's not a moment of going inwards. So a lot of this work that we see, it's not easy, because I almost see that there's like a little bit of like there's a little bit of testiness. There's a little bit of provocation in some of these relationships that are forming right now, because it's giving me like band-aid rip energy. Like, it's like, let's get the hard thing over with, right? It's almost like challenging each other with the thing that feels like it may have broken the past relationship, to identify and make sure that they're not repeating the same lessons or going through the same work in that space. But I see even now that something about that energetic rigor, and potentially even moving slower than they typically would, because I also saw that a lot of energy right now is healing from inconsistent partnership dynamics, where one was experiencing the working through the lesson that something that's good but inconsistent is often worse than something that's just bad all the time, because the healing point of relationship is being able to predicate upon what we expect. That is the ship that creates the higher ground from which we are able to build. So I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy doing that work, unpacking, right? Just working through, like hard part first. This is the energy that is saying and recognizing not only the ability to articulate upon what a manifestation goal is, but being able to identify and see and counterpart the rigor, the tenacity that is required in order to get there. And there's a lot of healing that's happening right now, but it's hard, because even as they're building into these partnerships, it's allowing for a lot of triggers to be discovered, or having to almost work through a lot of the articulation of identifying what the problem was in the past relationships. Now, for energy coming into divine union, I feel like I can see some of the energy coming into divine union right now reaching a point of catharsis. These were the chariot partnerships that we saw that were occurring from the time that Mars was in retrograde up until the time that both Mercury and Venus went direct behind Neptune a few weeks ago. And for a lot of those energies, the last few weeks may have felt very destabilizing, because they were identifying the heart opening that often occurs when we reach a new level of stability for ourselves, working through the lesson that we don't heal to take on more trauma. We heal so that when we finally find our joy, the joy doesn't feel like an illusion, right? Because sometimes that non-believability, the unrealness or the surrealness of being able to navigate a state of joy, this sometimes pushes energy back into separation, because that space of understanding that trauma lowers our expectations. I keep on seeing this is the energy that is both feeling the stabilization point and being able to see something that they were carrying that they didn't even know that they had to heal from, but also finding that determination point in partnership, that reality check that we receive from healthy counterpart, that articulates upon the safety that is found in partnership, that feels like it brings with it that new sense of stability. Because I keep on hearing that for a lot of that energy, the stabilization point of the relationship, right? The chariot partnerships that prioritize that type of stability. It allows for a lot of the opening of the inner sanctuary of the self, and sometimes the surprise of what one finds within that you didn't even realize that you had to heal from. So that's why I keep on hearing, if you talk to this energy right now, probably like, how are you doing? How's the relationship? Great. How are you feeling? Terrible, right? But it's not the terribleness that occurs because of partnership. It's the ability to finally be able to heal from something, because you're finally in a space that it's safe enough to be able to unpack it. This brings us to a lot of the energy deep within divine union right now. And I'm just identifying that for a lot of the energy deep within divine union, I keep on getting it's temperance moving into judgment. And a lot of that work, I just keep on seeing there's a lot of that identification point in building into pathworks of patience, understanding how difficult it can be when we're trying to be patient with ourselves, patience in relationality to the progress we're trying to have outside of the self. And what's beautiful that I keep on seeing is while the energy coming into divine union are looking each other in the eye, they're saying, look at me, this is the reality check, and they're finding stabilization point there. The energy deep within divine union is building into the context of having each other's back. That when we're in healthy partnership and we're able to do that work of healing, like the ability to be adaptable, the ability to take a note. This is why we heal our egoic wounds, because when our ego is when we have too strong, it's the irony of understanding that too strong an ego is too fragile an ego. When we're operating too much in the space of the ego, it can often be recognized because it's hard for us to hear something, or we don't want to hear anything that feels oppositional to us. But that ability of being adaptable, that ability of being able to unpack something, this is the gift that the healthy counterparts give to one another, because that's the energy that looks at each other and says, understanding. I keep on hearing consistent, but never easy, right? Working in the context of saying, of that ability of saying, I keep on hearing like all patience, no excuses, because when we're working on something that we're trying to change within, we don't utilize it as a reason to step back. We put the energy there, we put the support there, we identify what it is that we're working on so that we can get better at it. So that's why I keep on hearing it's temperance into judgment, because it's the energy that looks at a situation to identify if the work is required within or without, and then builds upon the pathwork or the conviction of what it takes to get there. And I keep on seeing that for a lot of that energy, this feels stabilizing, this feels strengthening, it feels reaffirming, but it's not easy, because it's also like it's identifying and recognizing like what that I can see that setting plans, setting intentions, identifying what that work's going to be, potentially a lot of like decluttering energy, or working in terms of trying to streamline something, because everything I keep on seeing for energy deep within divine union, it is the conversation of not over calibrating or being too hard oneself on the journey, but at the same time not being too easy on oneself either. That is where we find all of the energy prior to beginning today's daily collective read. Now, if you would like to catch any of that full reading, you can find it over on the place where we keep the videos. You can also find it over on the place where we keep the photos. You can also find it as a podcast over on my spot at Tarot Church and over on my Substack. That said, we are going to get started on today's daily collective read in the next few minutes. If you would like to get on the list for today, the list is open. You will be the fourth person read for. I will stress the list will be kept very short today. So if you would like to secure a spot on the list for today, I would encourage you to get on the list sooner rather than later, because I will be closing the list shortly, as we're already at 3 or 4. It is 3 cards, as I mentioned, for a donation of $29 or more, 4 cards for a donation of 23 or more for my subscribers, links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I do not read for across apps. Those are pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. Also, if you would like to see the full list of available readings, you can find it also on my tree that is links in it in my bio. We do dream interpretation readings here. We do highest priority messages from spirit. We do angelic guidance. We do love readings. We do pet readings. We do pet mediumship. We do pet spirit guide readings. We do not pet spirit guides, animal spirit guide readings. We do mediumship. As I mentioned, the whole list is up on the tree that is links in it. Also, if you're joining us across the other apps right now, you can also get on the list by that same tree in my bio. Hi there, Rose Malave. If I'm saying your name incorrectly, by all means, always feel free to correct me. Libra right now, interestingly, I feel like Libra and Scorpio are very much in the same space right now, which is, I feel like it's identifying points of expansion. It's recognizing and working into the context of change. And I will say it's going to get interesting, because we've got a lot of planets about to move into Gemini. And As I said, for Libra right now, being patient with the self, recognizing what you're working on, but not being overcorrective is going to be key. And we're going to talk a lot about that, especially with that Gemini new moon coming up shortly. Thank you for that question, Rose. Lana, again, thank you for joining us today. Good to see you. And Dragonfly, thank you for those gifts. Oh, I'm so glad you're at a 10 today, Lana. Hi there, Rita. Is that why everyone's depressed? You know, I've been describing this right now as like the full moon hangover right now, Rita. Eileen, thank you so much for getting on. It's a little bit, I think one of the reasons we're feeling a little bit of that depression right now is because firstly, Mercury is in Taurus. And the thing with Mercury and Taurus, we've been talking about this, is Mercury energy is like not a big fan of being in Taurus because Mercury's fast, Taurus is slow. Like Mercury's fast, Taurus is slow. Right. And it's like, I like to describe like Mercury likes to run through the halls of the houses. But when they get to like Taurus, they got like run, walk, walk, walk. So it can also feel very much like a Mercury retrograde when Mercury's in Taurus. Also, with Saturn moving out of Pisces into Aries, there's a lot of releasing feelings around the past. There's a lot, we've been seeing this, a lot of healing from anything that feels like one is carrying, that feels like it's bitterness, something that doesn't feel like it's serving the self. So it may be creating a lot of that, like better out than in right now. I hope that helps, Rita. Hi there, Kimmy. Good to see you today. And thank you, Queen Bee, for the follow. I'm doing beautifully today. How are you doing? Aries here. I like, Aries right now. Aries is like, I feel like for a lot of Aries, it's going to be like it is what it is to a certain extent. The one thing that's happening that's a little bit helpful, I feel like for Aries, it might be feeling a little refreshing because I feel like it could be feeling the context of finding something to channel your frustration through is what I'm seeing. Like, and I think that has a lot to do with the fact that we're finally getting over and out of the meridian of all the planets being like stuck between Pisces and Aries. Good to see you today, Ruby. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Adam, so good to see you as well. Lana, yes, lots of changes for sure. It definitely has. Thank you for confirmation, Lolo. Hi there, Marisol. How are you doing today? Good to see you as well. Gia, yes, I feel it. I have Pisces moon. I feel changes coming, but my patience is running out. Don't, chart the course of progress. Chart it and don't be too hard on oneself, okay? Remember, consistency is better than big changes. Consistency is key. Orlando, for Pisces moon, I had a huge wave of emotion just now on my way to the grocery store. And I'm going to tell you, for my Pisces babies right now, I think a lot of that has to do, and you're going to probably be feeling like that until about May 24th. Because you have to remember, for Pisces, all these planets have been crossing over into Aries, and Saturn is the last one doing so right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of nostalgia being triggered, right? Thinking a lot about the past or seeing how something has changed. Hardy, your subscription's ending, so if you'd like to renew, make sure that you're hydrating through it and articulating through it. It's going to help. Marisol, my person and I keep going from being separated to coming into union to being separated again. I'm sending you so much support on that journey, Marisol. That's not easy. I was trying to unpack and heal, but he isn't ready, so I'm letting him have his space. I'm sending you so much support on that journey. And God's angel, thank you, follow. The list today is open, Juices, but I'm keeping it very short. I'm only going to take a couple more people on the list, so if you'd like to get on it, please do so sooner rather than later. Thank you for the compliment, Lolo. Dada, thank you for sharing the live. Always appreciate when you guys share the live. I got you, I believe. I'll read the list out now to make sure that everyone's on it. And Hina, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. Lana, major release. Thank you as well, Dada. All right. And River Willow, sending you so much support as well, dear. I hope you're doing well today. Pisces here, glad to know I'm not alone. You are not alone. I've been saying, I felt really bad I felt a little like concerned for Pisces during your season, because there was so much of the energy, because right when we were going through Pisces season, we were going through that eclipse with the retrograde. So it's like, it's not just the fact that the energy was pulling back into Pisces, but then it was leaving again. So it was creating like this yo-yo effect. So this can be really triggering right now for those with Pisces placements. For Aries, it has to do with intimacy wounds. That's why I said, like, Pisces is saying, come back right now. Aries is saying, get out. Aries is saying, what is everybody doing in my house? So make sure you're articulating through it. Make sure you're not projecting. Honoring how you feel is not just articulating how one feels at every moment, but recognizing what the feelings are asking for. All of this is going to help right now. A couple of updates before we move into personal readings today. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone who attended our tarot class last week on the death card. If you missed that class, it is now available to you if you wanted to catch up. Our next class is going to be on Wednesday, June 11th at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We are going to be continuing our studies into the tarot with a focus on the Temperance card. I'm very excited to teach this class. The Temperance card is a beautiful, fascinating card. We're going to talk about the history, the symbology. I'm going to work you through spread applications, how to read that card in any direction it may appear in your own spreads. I'll also be giving you a unique spread to take away from that class. And all you need to do, if you would like to become a part of that tarot class program, is head on over to my Substack and become a paid subscriber. Your paid subscription to my Substack is not only your ticket of entry into our live classes each and every month, but as a monthly subscriber, you will have access to over 9 hours worth of material in the Tarot Church Library archive. So that will also allow you to have access to the course materials and recording from our recent class on the death card. You'll also have access to a one-on-one chat with me and the other students to ask any questions that you may have in relation to anything that we've studied thus far. And if you become a founding member to my Substack, not only will you receive a discount on the full year's worth of classes, you also have full access to the entirety of the Tarot Church Library. That is access to over 14 hours worth of material in an ever-expanding library. And again, if you were going to join, now is a great time, because while you don't need to catch up, I do my best to give you a recap in each and every class before we move on to the next class. If you wanted to catch up, now is a great time, because you'll have at least 2 classes to watch each week before we lead into that Temperance class on the 11th. You'll also have access, if you choose to receive it, to a one-on-one mentorship class with me as a founding member, where I will meet with you personally to assess where you are on your tarot journey, and give you the best insights in terms of how to utilize those classes to the best of your advantage going forward. One of the things I tried to do in these classes was make them accessible to the absolute novice tarot reader as well as the seasoned reader. There's definitely something there for everyone. Don't let your lack of experience or your robust experience prevent you from joining us in these classes. And even if you don't become a paid subscriber to my Substack, I would encourage you to follow me there to stay up to date on any new offerings or services. I also post my weekly newsletter there, which will let you know about my in-person events as well as my online live schedule. You'll also be notified. You'll also have access to my mystic meditation articles, which are recaps on what we've been seeing energetically in the cards in article form. And all of that is available to you. You'll also be able to see each day's full spread, because I post the podcast there as well. All of that is available to you just as a follower over on my Substack. I also want to let you guys know that on top of my standard life path readings, I also offer mentorship classes. These are for any of my clients that are seeking more consistent weekly tarot support. I offer mentorship classes for any of my students that are seeking a more in-depth educational experience with me. I take a very limited number of students for this reason, as those classes are focused on each individual's personal spiritual goals and journey work. Those classes can be purchased on an individual level or as a monthly class series, weekly or bi-weekly, as your schedule permits. Also, for my clients seeking more consistent weekly tarot support, I'm very happy to offer weekly tarot insight packages. That is a package of 4 30-minute readings, again, weekly or bi-weekly, as your schedule permits, so that you can stay more consistent on your journey on a budget. I'm also very happy to offer now dream interpretation readings. You can purchase these per dream or as a series. I would encourage that if you purchase the series package from me, that you start to keep a dream journal, as we will meet weekly or bi-weekly with that journal to utilize the tarot to not only understand the landscape of your dreams, but also to understand the key symbols and how they relate to you and your journey. That said, we are going to get started on today's daily collective read in the next few minutes. If you would like to get on the list for today, I would encourage you to do so sooner rather than later. The list will be very short today. 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of $23 or more for my subscribers, links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I don't read across these apps, pregnancy and medical. You can find the full list of readings that I offer over on my tree that has Binks in it. We are also doing 2 giveaways today. Our first giveaway will be a free reading for the highest gifter between now and the conclusion of the daily collective read. And the other giveaway we'll be doing is we will be doing a reading giveaway when we get to 50K likes. So if you are, make sure you're tapping the screen. If you're here, give this screen some love and we will get to 50K in no time and we'll be able to do that giveaway. Also, when you tap the screen, it encourages the app to push this live out to those who have not received it. So thank you so much for your support in that way as well. Hi there, Torby. Good to see you. I'm in I'm in an Aries relationship and the struggle is real right now. You're probably like working really hard not to get on each other's nerves. And you're probably saying, you're not even doing anything that should get on my nerves, but you're just probably feeling very enervated. It's just the vibe right now for Aries. It's working in that pathwork of patience. Lots of walks, lots of hydrating. Make sure you're articulating your needs. Thank you as well, Lolo. Good afternoon, Heather. I believe I have you on the list. I am going to read the list right now to confirm those on the list. Just a reminder, if you get on the list right now, you'll be the 5th person read for, and the list is very close, like short today. I'm probably only taking a couple more people on the list, so if you'd like to secure a spot on the list, please do so sooner rather than later. I've got Nicole, Megan, Heather, and Eileen right now. Adina, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew, dear. So good to see you. I'm going to pin you here. Guys, make sure that you give Adina a follow. Had an absolutely beautiful podcast with her at the start of the year. You can find that over on her page, over on her site, or you can find it over on my Substack in the collaboration section. So good to see you today, dear. Hope you're having a beautiful weekend. Good afternoon, Fig. Good to see you as well. So cool. I'll be checking it out. Oh, we'll be looking forward to seeing you there. And thank you again. And for those who are subscribers who would like to become a part of the Tarot Church class program, make sure that you head over to our subscriber-only Discord channel, because there you will find an additional coupon code that will give you a discount to that Substack subscription. That said, hi there, dear. No better time than the present. If you'd like to get on the list is open. But why don't we get started? Just bear with me one moment and we will begin. Welcome, everyone. Happy Sunday. I'm the Grace Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Sunday, May 18th, 2025. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? May I please have the first 2 cards in our 5-card spread? 1 card out, 1 more, please. These cards are sticky today. Wow. All right. I love these 2 cards in combination right now. We have here our 10 of Swords in its reversal, in combination with our Magician in its reversal. I keep on getting, there's a lot of this work that's happening right now in relationality to not just recognizing and identifying what a manifestation goal is, but looking at something clearly to understand what it takes to get there. And we've been talking about this over the last few days. I'm not surprised to see it. Wishes are not manifestation goals. Why are wishes? Wishes are not manifestation goals because wishes are about sitting around and waiting for something, but not doing anything to move towards it, right? It's easy to wish, right? It's easy to be like, I wish. Wishing, like, this is why, like, wishing is not what it's about. Manifestation is about saying to the universe, I'll meet you there. Okay? Because when it's identifying and recognizing what that force is, like what it's going to take to be able to recognize and identify. And so I just keep on seeing that there's a lot of that energy, right? And that's happening across all of the frequencies, I will stress. And it is having a different impact depending on where you find yourself on the frequency cycles. This is why I keep on seeing the fact that there's a lot of energy and separation right now in magician energy, because I keep on, and I almost feel like this is like this is also, it's interesting too, because I'm hearing that the whim relationships that we were talking about, like a lot of the energy and separation that is healing from whim relationships. What is often the hallmark of whim relationships when you're moving away from them? You hear someone saying, I wish a lot. Like, I wish this, I wish that, but not seeing the ability to articulate upon change. And this is why I keep on hearing that the energy right now is in separation, is in magician energy, because they're saying it's a wish-free zone, right? They're saying that healthy partnership isn't about wishing, it's about manifesting. Because when someone says, I wish, what they're really saying is, I won't, right? Like, it's that moment or modality of saying, I don't want to do something. I just wish for something to be different. And so this is why I keep on seeing, I got to tell you right now, especially with some of this, I told you it's feeling awful retrograde in here with Mercury being in Taurus. I would not be surprised if there wasn't some energy from the past returning right now. Or especially with Saturn moving out of Pisces into Aries, like that conversation of saying feelings have nothing to do with it. Often when someone's deep in their feelings, but they're not articulating about the ability to identify what it is that it's going to take to be able to create change, they'll talk a lot in the space of wishing, right? Because it's not about wishing, it's not about identifying how one feels. It's about being able to move the energy of the emotion into a space that it matters, that's able to cause some change. And that's why I keep on hearing there's a lot of closure that's happening right now as Saturn moves into Aries, because I keep on seeing that the message is coming through in relationality to the journey of Saturn moving into Aries is the difference between the energy that articulates the desire to wish for things, right? The identification of asking another to change something versus being able to see and identify what it takes to get there. Now for masculine, and that's why even now, and I got to tell you here, like, I even see some energy in separation, like starting to build into healthy partnership. Like, look at this, the difference between magician energy and its reversal and the world card, right? Like, that's a lot of that pulling backwards versus energy that pulls forward. And so I just keep on seeing that's what the energy is saying. Like, this is what the energy is doing in separation. They're saying no wishes, all manifestation. And if anything, they're moving more slowly, right? They're almost apologizing to each other for the slowness of building into a relationship, specifically and particularly because I hear the energy in separation saying that they've gotten burned before by energy that articulates that they want something, but then don't do anything to be able to move towards it, right? It's not just about talking through manifestations. It's not about talking about what one wants. It's about putting one's money where its mouth is. It's about doing the work. It's about putting in that elbow grease, right? It's a lot of elbow grease energy. Now, this brings us to a lot of the energy coming into divine union. And for a lot of the energy coming into divine union right now, everything I'm seeing here has to do with identifying and recognizing something that one couldn't see before because you found higher ground, right? This is the beauty of those chariot partnerships that we were identifying. And a lot of that energy I was seeing was in high priestess mode. I was just getting the fact that a lot of that energy has been in high priestess mode because they're starting to heal in the way that they haven't been able to heal before, right? I keep on hearing this energy almost saying to one another, a miracle's occurred, because the miracle that has occurred is the observation of being able to see something that they couldn't before within the self, that allows the understanding of recognizing that there's some things you can't heal in traumatic environments. You got to put your weapons down, is what I keep on hearing. And that's the problem. Like, I hear like a lot of the energy right now coming into divine union, finding that higher ground, moving into the space of forgiving themselves for who they were or what they were in a moment where they were, like, I keep on hearing, like, in a space of feeling like they were in an energetic, emotional survival, right? Like that's a lot of the energy that is articulating upon, like I keep on hearing, I keep on hearing like that journey of trying to like heal from something and almost feeling badly context of having to do so, but then finally getting into a space where you feel energetically safe again. I just keep on seeing that there's a lot of this unpacking and almost like in a space of apologizing. But this is the energy that keeps on saying that when we're truly healing, when we're having a heart opening and we're going through the heart and throat chakra, we're talking about something instead of reacting to it. This is the energy that's already articulating the fact that they're healing from something that they couldn't see before, because they're understanding that we heal from trauma not to make room for trauma. We heal from trauma so that when we finally find a moment of joy, it doesn't feel like it's an illusion. Because that's often what the trauma wants to say, right? Like, what does the trauma want to say? Nobody cares about you. Nobody loves you. This is too good for you, right? And our act of healing often feels like a riot against our trauma, because it's almost like having to look at the trauma and say, you can't talk to me like that anymore. You can't talk to me. You can't talk. Excuse me. You can't talk to me like that anymore. Who do you think you're talking to? Because that's the energy that I keep on seeing. And this is interesting because I feel like there is a little bit of that shift of moving out of high priestess right now, right? Because they're coming out of the space of the way that the trauma, about how they spoke to themselves, because the trauma, right? Then what does the trauma try to dictate to you, right? Trauma tries to dictate and say you'll never be anything other than this, right? And this is the energy that says, right, they're breaking through on that because they're appreciating and recognizing their own energetic majesty in the space of understanding that we heal not by trying to change trauma out of trauma, but moving into spaces where we're energetically appreciated and seen and loved, bringing us into the energy deep within divine union. There's that King of Pentacles energy. I told you there's a lot of the energy right now, deep within divine union, doing that work, working in from temperance into justice, right? New projects, new plans, new milestones, new goals for the self, right? I keep on hearing that this is the work that we do, and this is the energy I keep on seeing. This is the energy that's deep inside the Taurus lessons, because what do we talk about that often Taurus have to come here to heal? The thing with the Taurus lessons that we identify is, and this is hard for those with Taurus placements, that the only way, like, that our comfort, our comfortability, the irony of comfortability, the paradox of it is that our comfortability expands directly proportional to the discomfort that we can experience, right? That when we have like a tiny comfort zone, right? We have to be willing to kind of push our own envelopes. We have to challenge ourselves. We have to get better at things. And sometimes it's hard because we hit that point of energetic resistance within the self. But this is why I keep on seeing that ability of identifying and recognizing like what that path of work is, right? Like where that energetic healing from. That's why I keep on hearing this energy that says all patients, no excuses, because when they recognize something that they need to work on, they don't shy away from it, they lean into it. Right? It's building into, it's a lot of that. I keep on hearing the comfort zone that stretches, that feels like it's energetically empowering, because when you're able to do something in a way that it isn't, I keep on hearing the difference between a talent and a gift. A gift is something that is energetically natural. A talent is something that we stretch. A talent is something that we work on. A talent is something that we build towards. So there's a lot of this energy here that is working in that way. And I feel like, again, I think this has a little bit of the energy that we're seeing here with Leo being in Aries, because Aries loves being in Leo, right? Being proud of progress, right? And that's the ability of identifying how far someone has come, or how far the self has come, or identifying the nature of change, right? It's not easy, but when you feel that type of appreciation, it allows for that desire to say, like, what else, like, how else can I heal? Like, what else is there, right? Like, there's a lot of that. I keep on seeing there's a lot of that, There's a lot of that recognition or adaptability as it relates to um, identifying what that work takes. Continuing to get clarification between our world card and our eight of wands in its upright. Can I get one card to clarify? There's that star card in its reversal. So I need to tell you right now, if you're feeling a little run down right now, if you're feeling a little energetically exhausted, there's a couple of reasons why you may be feeling that at this time. As I mentioned, um, these Scorpio full moons are very transformational. And the thing about the Scorpio full moon being in Taurus season is it also may have felt a little bit particularly emotionally or spiritually volatile to a certain extent, because you have to understand that it's working in the context that Taurus energy often has a bit of a hurdle in relationality to navigating the force of change, right? Some signs love the energy of change, right? Look at a Scorpio. Scorpio's like change. You know what I mean? Like there are some signs that like live for a lot of that space. Taurus, it can be much like Aries has issues with working through Saturn. The energy of change for Taurus can sometimes feel difficult, right? It can feel very like it can feel like somewhat like arduous. So if you're feeling a little bit, and a lot of this too, especially with Mercury in Taurus, because as I mentioned, Mercury in Taurus, it's not ideal plate position. It can feel like a lot of a retrograde. And that is when we're going through Mercury retrograde periods, it could feel like things are moving more slowly than you would expect or desire them to be. Or you could be feeling like your patience is wearing thin upon things. So if you're feeling like that, I want you to rate the path of progress of something. Specifically and particularly, because this is what I'm calling this, like, as I always do, the full moon hangover that we're experiencing right now it can feel very exhaustive in relationality to the places that you're putting one's own patience towards, either towards yourself or towards those around you. So if you're feeling that uncertainty, don't look at everything you have to do. Take a moment to like rest and appreciate how far something's come, or identifying if something hasn't come far enough, right? Like that's welcome to Gemini season. We're inching ever closer to Gemini season. So it's a lot. I like Gemini season because Gemini isn't about lack. Gemini is always about what's it going to take to get there. You know what I mean? Like Gemini is always about adaptability. And I got to tell you, we got a lot of planets moving into Gemini very quickly at almost the same exact time that we've got that new moon happening. So I want you to be patient with yourself, especially in relationality to your own progress right now. Continuing to get clarification between our Eight of Wands in its upright in combination with our Nine of Cups in its reversal. And it is having a different impact on masculine, feminine energy. And we're going to talk about that in a moment. I just want to draw this next card first. There's that Devil card in its reversal. And again, I really like this second row. If you're listening to the podcast, make sure that you pop over to our Substack so you can see today's spread, because it's a very beautiful spread. It talks a lot about the fact of recognizing and unlocking healing. And I keep on hearing, like, if there's that moment that you're like, I've got a lot of work to do, if you're appreciating that and you didn't realize it before, I want you to take a moment to observe how far you've come. I really do. Because this is having a different impact on King of Pentacles in combination, in its reversal, in combination with its star energy. And what we're effectively seeing here is how this feels for both masculine and feminine energy. And it is very, I got to tell you, a King of Pentacles in its reversal and a star card in its reversal are very similar. There's a lot of similarities to happening here, because I wanted to show you something. Look, like the masculine with the star card, there's also a star here, right? So we've got here. So these are almost like, this is a lot of, I want to say, you might not experience a lot of activation today between masculine and feminine, because they're very much operating in parallel. They're very much kind of like, this is giving me a space of contemplation. It's feeling a little hermit. It's feeling a little bit like hermit energy. Okay. Now for masculine, I'm seeing that this is a lot of the masculine energy. Like this is giving me like heavy Taurus season vibes, which is rest and recovery. This is R&R. This is laying back. This is taking it easy. This is appreciating that we give each other, we give our, that is not, rest is not exclusive of work. It's necessary, because when we're able to energetically rest, we're able to find that, like, I keep on hearing recharging our batteries, as it were. So I see a lot of the masculine energy in a moment right now of feeling like they're energetically recharging their batteries coming out of this heavy, intense full moon cycle. Feminine feels more about healing. I'm seeing feminine like maybe working more through some kind of path work here of identifying and recognizing where the work is. This is the feminine. I just keep on seeing healing in the way of appreciating the self. And I keep on hearing it's very much same kind of in that modality of rest and recovery. But I'm also identifying that for a lot of the feminine energy, this could be feeling very nostalgic, potentially and especially in relationality to looking at the past and seeing how much one's point of view has changed, or observing and appreciating how far one has come. Because I feel like there's a little bit, like I hear for masculine right now, battery recharge. For feminine, I hear energetic recall, right? So that's a little bit of the energy, but you'll see how both of these energies right now are very much in kind of the same modality coming out of that. It feels a little bit like hermit energy, but that's why if there's not a lot of communication or a lot of activation between masculine and feminine right now, it's because there's like, and I always think it's funny because when I'm reading for in situations, everyone's like, when are the energies in alignment? And I'm like, when they're in alignment, it's pretty quiet. Because this alignment is pretty quiet because they're both just like, you know what I mean? Like they're both in energetic parallel to a certain extent. Continuing to get clarification, and that's happening across all of the frequencies. I'm actually curious to see if something, it feels very Aquarian, you know? So it's saying to me, there's a lot of like things going on in the thought space right now. Continuing to get clarification between our three of cups in its reversal and our King of Pentacles in its reversal. You see there, that's confirmation on the energetic recharge, because we've got here the Ace of Swords in its upright. So this is the energy of the masculine working into the space of being able to appreciate that rest isn't exclusive to work. It's necessary for work. That a little bit of that energy, like this is masculine, like recharging their battery to a certain extent, but in such a way that it allows for that. Like I feel like this is like working in the space of having one's work cut out for them, or a lot of like internalized planning right now. I'm actually going to draw something a little bit different here because of the way the cards are laying out. I am going to skip the center card right now because I want to see how this is playing out for feminine before I join them together in what the center card is between them. So clarification between our star card in its reversal in combination with our devil card in its reversal. Yeah, you see, now this is very intriguing. Okay, and I would really encourage you to take a look at the photo of today's spread that will be posted when we post the podcast, because the clarification between the energy of the star card in its reversal and the devil card has to do with 5 of Wands in its upright. So this is a lot more of the feminine resolving conflicting feelings, or working through the space of emotional volatility within the space of the feminine. Because everything I keep on seeing here, and it's carrying forward on the lesson or the work that we were identifying in relationality to the fact that we've been talking about the lesson that's coming through, that emotions can sometimes be volatile, particularly and especially in relationality to situations that we're healing from that we don't desire to return towards. Because remembering that when we look at at the feelings like children, right, honoring emotions, it just moving in the directionality of the emotions. It's understanding that they're the emotions that we feel that are energetically healthy versus the energy of the emotions that we're healing from. Because the emotions, being like children, is sometimes the emotions are positive, right? Sometimes the emotions ask for things that feel like they're foundational and supportive to us. Like, again, the child that says, I want a sandwich, I want a glass of water. And so we go, sure thing, emotions, here you go. But sometimes the emotions are like I would like a box of fireworks and a match. And you say, whoa, 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 come back here. Right? You call the energy of the emotions back and you work through where, like, what that is, like what that energetic volatility is. And so I keep on seeing that there's a lot of the energy of the feminine right now, like unpacking a lot of that energetic volatility in order. I just want to show you this. Like, look at this. Like this is the feminine coming into the space of saying it's okay not to feel okay about things and finding ways to articulate and communicate through that, right? Like that's the energy of the feminine working through healthy boundaries. While for masculine, we've got here with the magician in its reversal and the ace of swords. This feels more like the energy of the masculine that is feeling like finding like much more focusing, much more prioritizing, much more building into the ability to um, like identify. I keep on hearing there's also a lot of masculine energy that's healing from the illusion of rejection, because this is the masculine that's doing more of that work, that concentrating on authenticity, like what makes them uniquely themselves, as opposed to feeling like they need to fit in or feeling like they need to fit into a mold or feeling like they have to kind of like work into the space of articulating or look towards another, particularly in the realm of masculinity. I keep on hearing the message when I'm reading for masculine. Masculine is taking masculinity back because they're not letting someone outside of the self tell them what it means to be energetically masculine. They're going on that journey, like the masculine's like solo journeying, which is kind of cool in some way. Continuing to get clarification. Now, the center card between the King of Pentacles in its reversal and the Star card in its reversal with the World card in between is, boom, Seven of Cups in its upright. This is feeling like a lot of that movement into Gemini season, because it's saying to me that something about working in the context of embracing one's own uniqueness. This is exactly the type of energy that we want to see as we start to conclude Taurus season, because we've talked about the fact that Taurus season is majestic energy, right? It's identifying majesty, and that's why Taurus energy is held in the shoulders. That's why we show our shoulders to majestic energy, because it's understanding and recognizing the weight that we carry. And so that ability of identifying and recognizing it allows for that space of not feeling like one is trying to energetically fit into something, but like, and I told you with a lot of this, there's some beautiful symmetry that's happening right now with Leo being in Aries. I mean, Aries being in Leo, and also with like Saturn moving into Aries and Jupiter being in Gemini, because I keep on hearing that it's not about fitting in, it's about finding the self, right? And that ability of recognizing and identifying, it's not about who I want to be, it's the conversation that says, who am I? Because when we appreciate our own majesty, we look inwards when we ask that question. We don't look outwards. We go through that pathwork of exploration insofar as we recognize and identify and we appreciate the ability that finding ourselves is the context by which we heal from, like, I keep on hearing both masculine and energy and feminine are healing from the pathwork of comparison, because comparison is the thief of joy. That when we start to heal from constantly comparing ourselves, but instead work on growing ourselves, we are able to find ourselves, and we're able to, like, I keep on hearing, like, identify the things that make us unique. Now, and that's happening across all of the frequencies. Now, clarification between our Ace of Swords in its upright and our Seven of Cups, to try to get back into what we're seeing depending on where you are on the frequency cycles. Can I get one card to clarify? There's that Seven of Wands in its reversal. And it's interesting too, because we've got both the Five of Wands in its upright here in combination with the Seven of Wands in its reversal, which when you first look at them together, you might consider them antithetical, but they really aren't, because what I'm effectively seeing that's happening right now is there's a lot of work that is happening across the frequencies in relationality to non-attachment. And we talked about the fact that we're healing from the falsehood that non-attachment means not caring about things. Non-attachment is not about not caring about things. Non-attachment is about the articulation and recognition point of understanding the things that bother us versus the things that we're working on not being bothered by, right? And this is something that we have to do as we kind of work to heal the wounds of the ego, because we've talked a lot about the fact that often that journey, healing from, again, the illusion of rejection, working into the context of being able to embrace our authenticity. It's not easy, right? It's vulnerable. It doesn't make one feel strong. It's like you can usually tell you're healing the ego because you feel very vulnerable as you're doing it, right? It's not about feeling energetically strong all the time. It's understanding what one is carrying that doesn't feel like it serves the self. And so for a lot of the energy right now, I keep on seeing, this is why I keep on hearing that a lot of this energy and separation is in magician energy, because I just keep on hearing that this is the energy that's saying to one another that that ability of trying to be like open about how they feel about things, that ability of being able to feel the gift of being able to clearly communicate. I keep on hearing that these new partnerships, there's no holding back, and it's all off to the races, because while they might not necessarily, this is not the, but at the same time, this also feels very, like it feels very interesting, because I keep on hearing that this is not energy that is in any way, shape, or form saying to one another, let's just see where something goes. Because never are we in more danger in a relationship than when we come to each other without clarity of intent. Because when we say, let's just see where this goes, it's the recognition that we always have manifestation goals, right? We always have a hope. We always have a desire as to what it is that we want to create with another. And when we say, let's just see where it goes, it creates that possibility of building into the context of desiring something with another for someone who doesn't share the manifestation goal. And we don't create that path work. We don't create that path work. I mean, I keep on hearing, we sometimes build new dreams when we meet the right person. But even in the context that we build new dreams when we meet the right person, it doesn't change dramatically from what it was that we truly desired for ourselves, right? Like that's like a lot of the lesson that I'm hearing here. Like I keep on hearing there's not those frequent situations where someone I'm not saying that it's not impossible, but that ability or that desire to like completely sway against one's own norm, right? Like to like, I keep on hearing like to swing something into reverse. It's more in the context of understanding that ability, right? That when we say to someone, you know, let's just see where it goes, either one of two different things is happening, which is the energy that says, I'm too afraid to speak my dream to you, right? So it's almost like looking and holding the manifestation with a point of fear. And we never want to approach our manifestations with fear, because the ability to build into a manifestation is to be able to heal the heart and throat chakra, to be able to say it from our chest, right? Because the inability of doing so articulates the fact that there's some wounds there, as it relates to communication. Or it's because there's a manifestation that we have that we feel another person might not desire. And this is why we talk a lot about here, a healthy manifestation is one that is mutually shared, right? It's not something that we carry within or we hold to ourselves. It's one that we build together. And so I keep on hearing that the energy right now building into these relationships and partnerships, they're building with both hands. They're holding on to one another's hands because it's hard. It feels like it's very vulnerable, but they're doing that hard work together to articulate upon what it is that they desire, to before building into the passionate fire of relationship. Because this is the energy that says before we start forging into the passionate fire of relationship, let's make sure we're both building the same thing there. Let's make sure we're both trying to build the same thing there, instead of suddenly realizing and saying, wait, what the heck are you making? Like, what are you doing? What is that? That is not what I wanted. That is not, I don't know what that is. So I see that there's a lot of this energy that's like, it's building into anticipation and expectation, but they're articulating upon it, and this is how they're healing it, because they're healing, and because that's the energy that says to one another, if there's something about my manifestation that pulls you away, that isn't a bad thing. That's an articulation of a lack of alignment as it relates to what it is that we want to create together. Our manifestations should not feel like they're negotiations. They should feel like they are celebrations. And when we heal from the ability to be able to articulate through them, we allow that moment of joy when we feel that space of another person that says, not only do I want that too, but I'd like to add to that. I'd like to add to that. Because the energy being like, it's like I almost hear the energy like pie in the sky relationship, but also in a place of like building in a healthy way, because they're sharing the mutual and energetic excitement of what it is that they're starting to build, and also recognizing the patience that is necessary and required in order to get there. Right? I keep on hearing it's a marathon. It's not a race. While for masculine and feminine coming into divine union right now, clarification between our 7 of cups in combination with our 5 of wands in its upright. Boom, boom, wow. We've got here the 6 of cups. This is a beautiful spread today. Absolutely beautiful spread. If you have an opportunity, head over to my Substack to take a peek at it, because everything I keep on seeing with a lot of this 6 of cups in its upright, I keep on hearing this is the energy. These are the chariot partnerships that are giving each other a reality check, and they're giving each other a reality check in the best way possible. Because what are they saying to one another in that reality check? You're safe now. It's the articulation of saying to one another, either unconsciously or consciously, as they're getting things off their chest, right? And in the space of, again, getting it off the chest, that means that they're doing a heart opening, because that's why we say getting it off the chest is a heart opening, because that is the expansion point of the breakthrough. That when we hold trauma, but we're able to articulate upon it instead of reacting to it, we recognize that we are healing from it. Because that is the energy that potentially, I even see this, there's some energy right now that's saying to one another, there are moments I got close with another energy. There are moments that I got close to energetically releasing this, but lack of alignment. Someone was too scared to move away from their energetic safe zone. Someone was too scared to heal the wounds of intimacy. Because often, and this is the painful part, when we start, the reason we have to heal from trauma is when we start to heal, we start to build into healthy relationships, the intimacy it takes, the vulnerability triggers the fear. it triggers the fear that we felt in a traumatized space. And so it almost creates that feeling of a lack of reality as it relates to something that we're building that's beautiful, because this is the energy that often feels those moments of saying, this can't possibly be happening because nothing I've ever experienced has felt this way. But that moment or that decision point, this is the difference between like the space of finding joy and then pulling back into your trauma and saying that was just a dream, versus the ability to move into the space of being able to accommodate what it feels like to be in that space of safety, and looking back on the trauma and saying, no, this isn't a dream, that was a nightmare. And that ability of being able to do so, this is what we talk about in relationality to the emotional shift that occurs when we're in a healing space. Because the shift is the ability to accommodate and recognize the new reality wherein you are able to heal from something that you didn't even know was possible to heal from, because you weren't recognizing the weight of what you're carrying, because you are in the space of continually trying to like fight through it or push through it, right? Like that persevering energy. So this is the energy that's working through the volatility of holding into that modality. And this is what we talk about in the space that we say that peace is never found. Peace is made. It's never found. Peace is something that we actively work towards. It's something that we put our energy towards. It's not something that we go, oh, good, here comes, I found some peace. Because if you find peace and you're not ready for it, the peace will create energetic turbulence within you. And so everything I keep on seeing for a lot of the energy, recognizing and identifying that, like I keep on hearing a lot of emotional release right now, a lot of that high priestess. But it almost feels to me, it's like the high priestess energy that comes into like the recognition of identifying something that could not be seen before, that we talk a lot about in the again, if you go to my tarot church classes, we talk a lot about this with the space of articulating upon the pathwork of the high priestess as it relates to the tapestry behind the high priestess, which is, again, until you find it and recognize it, you often don't know it's there. But once you see it and find it, then you don't energetically go back, because you're able to see how much it takes to be able to navigate and find that change within. Peace is never found outside the self. We're able to maintain peace when we find peace within the self. This brings us to a lot of the energy right now that is deep within divine union. And so for a lot of the energy deep within divine union right now, I keep on seeing this feels very energetically collective. This feels very energetically expansive. I keep on hearing for a lot of the energy deep within divine union, I just keep on hearing the word share. And why do I keep on hearing the word share? Because that ability of identifying and recognizing, right? Wanting to do something in a bigger way, wanting to articulate something. I keep on seeing that there's something about that heart opening or that expansion point that allows for that ability to share how we're feeling, to want to connect in some way. And I keep on hearing, especially like, I feel like a lot of this Gemini energy that we're about to move into is going to be about like foundational or fundamental connections, right? Recognizing the strength of it, feeling that desire. I keep on hearing like that desire to like reach out and touch someone. It's giving me a lot of like ET energy. It's giving me a lot of that space, because there's like it has to do, you have to understand, and this is heavy. Like I'm already starting. I feel like this is a thing. Some of the energy deep within divine union is already moving into a lot of that Gemini energy. And we're going to talk a lot about this when we come into Gemini season. But that ability of understanding that, and Geminis know this, like within themselves. And this is why, and this is the thing about Geminis that's so incredible, is that Geminis recognize and identify that the ability to understand the self doesn't just exist in the context of the self, but how we build into the relationships of those around us, right? It's giving you a lot of like, show me who your friends are. You know what I mean? Like our friend, like the ability of identifying and recognizing that those friendships or those connection points. And this is why it's so hard to build into that context, because that I keep on hearing like that ability of working through the vulnerability that it takes to forge healthy connection. I just keep on seeing. Remember when I said that there was a lot of energy right now taking the temperature, because I almost feel like this is a precursor to being able to articulate or expand or expound upon in some way, in a way that they haven't before, particularly in relationality, um, as it relates to, um, and I keep on hearing like healing from wounds of the past in the process. So I think it's interesting because I see all of the energy right now in hermit mode to a certain extent, with the exception of the energy deep within divine union, which is coming out of hermit mode. Is what I keep on saying. Final card for today's spread between our Seven of Wands in its reversal in combination with the Six of Cups. One card to clarify. Yep. Oh, wow. We've got the Lover's card in its upright. And I love seeing this card here, especially because we're talking about the nature of connection. And there's a lot of this, and we're going to, like, I already keep on hearing, and we're going to talk a lot about this, because that ability or that adaptability point in building into healthy reflection, like that ability of articulating upon it, that ability of expounding upon it, that ability of recognizing and identifying where the work is. I just keep on hearing that for a lot of the energy deep within divine union, this is what I meant about the fact that the energy coming into divine union is looking each other eye to eye and saying, this is reality. Like, this is the reality check, like you're safe here. But for the energy coming into divine union, this is the energy that almost says to one another that they have each other's backs, because that is the force. I just keep on seeing that identification point of saying to one another, don't, like, I keep on hearing, promise to never go easy on me, because this is the energy that when we're building into, and this is why it's so valuable that we heal our egoic wounds before we enter energetic connection, because I keep on hearing that there's some energy deep within divine union that is recognizing the chicken and egg scenario as it relates to alignment, which is a space that says that the timeliness of when we encounter someone is often that moment. I see this energy that doesn't say you healed me, but this is the energy that says to one another, I healed myself and then I found you. Because that modality of understanding that the healthy relationship is one that challenges us at every moment, right? It's not about the fact that it's easy, but it's exciting in the space that it's always challenging us. It's always helping us. Like I keep on hearing, it always helps us unlock the doors of the self that we're working upon. Like that ability of doing so, I just keep on hearing that this is the energy that says that ability that says to one another deep within divine union, through you, I see sides of myself that I never thought existed, because that is the energy that says that the healthy connection isn't one that just, like, again, like pats the ego on the head and gives it a good day, right? It doesn't create the space of just feeling like the modality of being good with the self. It opens one's eyes to things that you haven't seen before. It shows you where the work is. It helps you identify and recognize what it is that it takes to get not just to who you are, but who you aspire to be, right? And so that's why the energy, like, says to one another, through you, I don't let go. I don't let go of my dreams. Through you, my dreams become new dreams, right? This is what we talked about in the landscape of manifestation. A healthy relationship doesn't require us to surrender our dreams. A healthy relationship is one where our dreams come come into fruition, and then new dreams occur, because that expansion point of alignment is such that it opens to the possibility of what can occur when we feel like we build into the context of someone who sees us with clarity. And this is what brings us to a lot of the energy right now that is coming into divine union. Because for a lot of the energy right now coming into divine union, remembering that space, like I told you, this is like the energy that was like going through and I got to tell you, like coming towards that Scorpio full moon, the difference between a breakthrough and a breakdown, the energy is exactly the same. The energy between a breakdown and a breakthrough are exactly the same. The difference between a breakdown and a breakthrough is when we're having a breakdown, we energetically react to it. When we have a breakthrough, we're able to articulate through it. We're able to talk about it. And this is the energy that's saying to one another, through you, I've had a breakthrough. And that's the energy that does not say, you've healed me. This isn't the energy that says, you complete me. This is the energy that looks at one another in the eye and says, I'm ready. And why do they say I'm ready? Because they're saying, I've gotten close with others in this way, but either they got too scared and I got too scared. Somebody ran in the wrong direction. This is the energy that understands that alignment is being able to navigate that breakthrough and not react to the trauma of the past, but to articulate through it, that allows for deepening energetic partnership. That's why I keep on hearing nothing will ever be as vulnerable as the connection that you build with a healthy counterpart. Nothing will feel as devastating, and nothing will make you stronger in the process, because being able to recognize and feel that force of devastation, but hold on to it closer, embracing that is the healing of the vulnerability by which all things are possible, because it is the healing of trust that often trauma wants to take away from us. This brings us to a lot of the energy in separation right now. And for a lot of the energy in separation right now, this is the energy almost apologizing to each other. I told you, because they're still working through a lot of the lessons that the chariot partnerships were working through, which is holding the reins on their emotions. I keep on seeing there's energy right now that would like to be moving faster with someone. Welcome to Mercury and Taurus. This is energy that wishes that they could run towards someone that they're building into the context of relationship with open arms, but they're almost apologizing to each other. And they're apologizing to one another, not because of the space that they don't trust one another, but they understand that due to the past, trust is something that is not demanded. Trust is something that is earned. So they're giving each other the time to build that consistency while the expectation is being affirmed. And I keep on hearing it's giddy energy, but it's also really frustrating, because it's the energy that wishes that they could rush a process, but they're letting Saturn do its work, right? Saturn is transiting. So letting Saturn do the work to help them identify and recognize the trust is something that is found, and seeing that point of consistency every day that they build into a consistent relationship, they heal from the relationship that made them feel more in a space of constantly wishing for something to be fixed, but never seeing it fixed, because they're seeing and identifying what it takes to build into consistency isn't about wishing, it's about giving. Bottom of the deck on this reading today is, oof, there's that Four of Swords in its upright. Remember when I said it's going to feel a little retrograde right now? We've got a Pluto retrograde happening until October 13th. And a Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, so healing a lot of wounds in relationality to intimacy. A lot of the work in the subconscious, okay? A lot of work. And that's why I said right now, if your dream space is popping off, a Pluto retrograde in Aquarius is going to do that. There may be a lot of things that you're having. You might be having a lot of wacky dreams right now. But I need to point out, I think the thing about the dreams right now that is going to be interesting is the fact that with Pluto in retrograde, it's like, I keep on describing it, it's like haunted house in the summer kind of vibes. It's like going through the haunted house in the off season and being like, okay, yeah, it's fine. Okay, boo, boo. Like you're moving away from the things that used to scare you, or working through something in such a way, because I just keep on hearing like this is the energy is like it doesn't have to like I got like I see the energy being like I got other things to do. I don't have time to be afraid of something from the past. It's like keep on like I see the energy like going through this to a certain extent, and it's like boom, be like okay, whatever. Like it's a lot of that. So if you're having dreams like this, where you're having dreams that you feel like they're scary, but you're not scared, like scary, you're like, it's weird because it was scary, but I wasn't scared. That's going to be a lot of that Pluto retrograde. It's like weird. It's creepy. It's like, ugh, but it's not like but it's like, and I keep on hearing, it's like the rock that you lift up and being like, whoa, what is that? You know what I mean? Like, it's just really strange. Um, but I also see the fact that the reason it could be feeling a lot like a Mercury retrograde right now has to do with the slowdown, because Mercury is moving through Taurus, and Mercury moving through Taurus feels like it's molasses. I keep on getting this vision like Mercury likes to run through all of the halls of the zodiac, and then when it gets to like a couple of them, it's got to start walking. Like Mercury's like and like it's like Mercury's like run, 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 Taurus, walk, walk, hello, oh, okay, run, 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 keeps on running kind of energy. So it can feel like things are taking longer than they should. It can create like it can create a little bit of that, and also with the fact that Saturn is moving out of Pisces into Aries, that can also trigger a lot of feelings around the past. Potentially the feelings that feel like, especially the feelings that are unresolved around the past. And so I'm going to kind of say the same thing that I talked about, which is I feel like a lot of the path work that we're navigating through in this season is healing and releasing bitterness. Because I keep getting the same message. We cannot control the fact that trauma occurs to us. But bitterness is the sign that we're carrying something in a way that is not supportive to us. Because bitterness is the trauma that we carry, that we poison ourselves with every step of the way because it hurts to carry. And it's not, I keep on hearing, it's not about forgiving everything. It's not about forgiving everything. It's understanding, and this is how Taurus energy helps us. It's not, and Chiron's going to help us too, because there's something going on with Chiron I got to check out as well. It's understanding that how we carry something makes the energetic difference, right? Like if you hold something with bitterness, then anything, it's like that space of saying, I can't let go, I don't want to let go. Because sometimes, and here's the thing about it, sometimes it feels good to be bitter, right? It can feel energetically reaffirming, but it's not healthy for us, right? Because it's not that it's not like, it's not the fact that you don't feel energetically validated in it, but it doesn't feel productive. And that's why I keep on hearing like all patience, no waiting, because you can't wait for bitterness to go away, right? If you're holding on to bitterness and you're like, I'm going to wait till I stop feeling bitter. That's not going to work, right? It's not, you can't wait. Bitterness does not go away in time. When you're carrying bitterness, the question you don't say to yourself, the question you say is, how long do I have to wait for the bitterness to go away? You have to say to yourself, how do I have to move this into a place that bitterness becomes purposeful? How can I move it into a space that it doesn't feel like it poisons everything, right? How do I move it into a space that it feels like it helps? It's never going to go away, right? But that ability of understanding, that the ability for us to move the things that we carry that feel like they're painful to us into a space that feels like it's affirming and productive for us, this is how we heal. If trauma could be easily released, it wouldn't be trauma. Trauma is the pain that sticks. So that's why I keep on hearing all patience, no waiting, is not waiting for that moment that trauma is going to go away. It's saying, okay, I've got trauma around this. This is who I am now. This is where we exist. And in the moment that we accept the fact that the things that we're carrying are the position by which we find ourselves, we can allow ourselves not to say, what do I have to do to forget about this? What do I have to do to let go of it? We say, how do I move through it? How do I find a way to persevere in such a fashion that it creates a strength point, that these flaws become facets, that something that occurred does not create the place of feeling like it holds us rigid, but allows for that point of expansion. And it's not easy, right? We all understand that it's not easy. But that ability of even accepting and saying that is not an easy journey, that is how we begin the process of healing. So if you're feeling that right now, I want you to say to yourself, what do I have to, like, again, what steps do I have to take to move one to a better place of joy? What feels good, what is good, right? Baby steps, not, and again, don't overlift. Never overlift during Taurus season, because overlifting in Taurus season, always like someone's like, I can lift it. Like it's not, it's like, I can do it myself. No, you can't. It's not okay. Don't get in that space of being like, I can do it myself, right? Like come into that space of vulnerability and saying, I want to do something myself. Maybe I can't. Like it's working in that space that shows you what's possible, but not overstraining under the weight of what you're energetically carrying. That is our daily collective read for today. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and experiencing it. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can book one on my site. Please keep in mind, there are two things I do not read for. And please keep in mind, if you want to book a private reading with me, it is a two-step process. You have to book the reading and you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you'd like to have that reading. Most importantly, please remember that I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a private reading. I will never DM you. I will never PM you. I will never slide into your inbox and tell you that I have a very important message that only I will deliver. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you book one on my site, so I would encourage you to do it there. A couple of updates before we move into personal readings today. First and foremost, thank you to everyone who attended our recent class on the death card. Our next class will be held on Wednesday, June 11th at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be continuing our studies into the tarot with a focus on the Temperance card. If you'd like to become a part of that class program, simply head over to my Substack and become a paid subscriber. Your subscription to my Substack is your ticket of entry into our live classes each and every month. You will also have access to a one-on-one chat with me and the other students to ask any questions that you may have in relation to anything that we've learned thus far. And as a monthly subscriber, you'll have access to over 9 hours worth of material in the Tarot Church Library Archive. Now, if you become a founding member, you will have full access to the entirety of the Tarot Church Archive. That is access to over 14 hours worth of material in an ever-expanding library. You'll also have access to a discounted rate on the full year's worth of reading of classes, and you will also have the opportunity of receiving a one-on-one mentorship class with me, where I will meet with you personally to understand where you are in your own personal tarot journey and give you the best insights in terms of how to utilize those classes to the best impact towards your personal tarot goals. One of the things I tried to do in these classes was make them accessible to the absolute novice tarot reader as well as the seasoned reader. There's definitely something there for everyone. Don't let your lack of experience or robust experience prevent you from joining us in these classes. And even if you don't become a paid subscriber to my Substack, I would encourage you to follow me there to stay up to date on any new offerings or services. I also post my weekly newsletter there, which will let you know about my in-person events as well as my online live schedule. And I also post my mystic meditation articles, which are giving you updates on the energy in article form. I want to let you guys know that I also offer mentorship classes. Those are for any of my clients that are seeking a more personalized educational experience with me. I take a very limited number of students for this reason, as those classes are focused on each individual's personal spiritual goals and journey work. Those classes can be purchased on an individual level or as a monthly class series, weekly or bi-weekly, as your schedule permits. Also, for my clients seeking more consistent weekly tarot support, I'm very happy to offer weekly tarot insight packages. That is a package of 4 30-minute readings, again, weekly or bi-weekly as your schedule permits, so that you can stay more consistent on your personal schedule. I'm also very happy to now offer dream interpretation readings. These can be purchased per dream or as a series. I would encourage, if you purchase a series, that you start to keep a dream journal, as we'll meet weekly or bi-weekly with that journal and utilize the tarot to understand the key messages that are coming towards you in the dream space. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages, and we will do this again tomorrow. That is our daily collective read. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and receiving it. Congratulations to Alex. You got our highest gifter for today, and Elisa, you came in second, so you will have an additional card in your subscriber reading. We are going to get started on personal readings today. If you would like to get on the list, I have room for potentially one more person on the list before I will be closing the list today. So if you'd like to secure a spot, please do so sooner rather than later. It is 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more, 4 cards for a donation of $23 or more for my subscribers, links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I do not read for across these apps, pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book a private reading on my site. I'm going to take a few minutes to read over some of the comments that came through as I was reading. Also, for those who are joining us across the other apps, you can also get on the list via my tree that has links in it in my bio. Hi there, Gia. So good to see you today. Hi there, Kimmy. Good to see you as well. Welcome, Nancy. Hi. Well, thank you for joining us too. And Love Light, thank you for those gifts. Thank you as well, Brian. I'm doing well today, Queen Bee. How are you doing? And thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, Adam, for the gifts. And welcome. Hi there. How are you doing today, Marisol? Good to see you today. And Hardy P, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. And thank you, God, again for the follow. Juices, the list is open. We've got room on it for one more person today. And thank you, Dada, for sharing the live. Always appreciate when you guys share the live. Good afternoon, Heather. So good to see you. Movement. Thank you for those roses. Thank you. Absolutely. Make sure to check out those classes, Lolo. And thank you for resubscribing, Adina. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Simone, happy Sunday. Oh my God, I've gotten those cards for a reading for me and my partner. If this has been in alignment with one of your recent readings, let this serve as further confirmation. Anna, thank you for the follow. Harmony, thank you for the message, for confirmation. Weddy, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. Thank you for confirmation, Alex. And thank you for those beautiful gifts. Looking forward to our reading. Synergy, thank you for the follow. Ms. Cap Sun, Taurus Moon, certainly feeling a bit of energetic slump these last few weeks. Yeah, I feel like there's a little bit of this energy, especially for those with cap placements right now, that could be feeling like in a bit of a rut. Libra, like it's opposite right now for Libra, interestingly. Aquarius could be feeling this too. And Mindy, thank you for the follow. Kina, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. Ms. Hermit energy for sure. It feels right now to work through these thoughts on my own. Continue to do so, right? Like making sure, like coming into contemplation before you take activation on something right now. Like that's the type of energy that we're experiencing, right? Setting the intention. Ashley, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew as well, as is yours, Queen. Hi there, Andrew. I'm happy to read for you on that. If you'd like to get on the list, list is open. I've got one more spot available today. Tay, your subscription's ending soon if you turn new. Hi. MX, you said that you paid for a reading the other day. Absolutely. Can you just give me your name and the date that you paid for a reading, and I'll check my list to see where you were and add you on today if that's the case. Yes, Mars is in Leo right now, Elizabeth. And Gaia, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. Melly, thank you for resubscribing. Ryan, your subscription's ending soon, as is yours, V. This is so beautiful. It is a beautiful spread today. If you'd like to see the spread, I would encourage you when it's on the Substack to take a look at it because it is very beautiful. Mui, thank you for the follow. No problem, Heather. Take your time. I know, Elisa, I had to get on a little bit earlier. I wasn't sure what's going to happen because I didn't remove the event because the event was supposed to start at 3, but I had to start at 2 today, which is why maybe the notifications didn't come through. This was the collective here. How do we get a reading? All you do, Sunflowers, is send a donation and you get added to the list for a reading. You'll find the donation on the tree that is Binks in it in my bio. And thank you for the follow. Hi there, Bridget. Good to see you. Hope you're having a beautiful day. And thank you, Mary Grace. How are you doing today, Butterfly? Did I just barely miss the collective? Nikki, yes, I had to start a little bit earlier. I posted about the fact that I was starting earlier on the Discord. Welcome, guys. And thank you for sharing the live, Bridget. Halo, Aries in my 12th house has me going back to my childhood house in my dreams. Oh, I could see it. Aries in the 12th house is a lot of that full circle stuff. You know what I mean? It's a lot of that, like I've become the energy that would have protected me from something. So thank you for being here and thank you for sharing that with us. Ms. The dream space has been popping off a lot of premonitions, but they're about mundane things. Yeah, I'm telling you, that is a Pluto retrograde for you. You know, that is a Pluto retrograde. Nikki, I know. I had a dream with my ex in it last night, but cannot recall. Hi, good to see you, Nikki. My dreams last night were wild. Me too. She's on the last card, but not bottom of the deck, I think. Thank you, Elisa. Excited for the transits to go out of my 12th house. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. There's been a lot of planets in Aries, and it's a lot. Like Aries know that they're a lot. Everybody's like on like the patience, like wearing thin, you know? It definitely wasn't pleasant. So I feel the haunted house vibe. Thank you for confirmation, Nikki. And again, sometimes if something's like that, I wouldn't be surprised right now, Nikki, if your guides were like, you're not bringing that back. It's not necessary, especially if it's karmic. Sometimes I've been getting a lot of this, like the guide just being like, you don't need to bring that back with you. Ms. Weasley, fun house, haunted house is a great way to describe the dreams lately. Like a lot, like simply strange. Yeah, something that should be scary that you're just not like. It's like you're not scared of it. You're like that's just weird. Like that's how it's feeling. Heather, thank you for the follow. This is so healing every day. I'm so glad, Elisa. I put my playlist on shuffle, and the first song that came on was "Don't Look Back in Anger." Oh, what a beautiful song! I don't. I see. I wish you were. If you were a subscriber, you could post it in our subscriber only Discord. We've got a whole channeled song section. Grace, carrying it like a flame. We need to put out can make it harder. Speaking to myself. What a beautiful way to describe that. Absolutely beautiful, Grace. Sending you so much support. I said, okay, I know I hear you, universe, trying to let go of the bitterness surrounding pain. I feel that. Meanwhile, we're accidentally fanning the flame by holding it. Thank you guys for supporting each other in the live. Yes, acceptance and release. Tap to claim. Like Spike, thank you guys. I'm China. Thank you guys for tapping the screen. Remember, when we get to 50K, I will be doing a drawing and gifting a reading back to the collective. So thank you for doing so and keep on tapping. This resonated with me tremendously. Thank you. You're so welcome, Lana. And Rose, thank you. What are we knowing about? What's the no? 333 tap to claim. Thank you for the compliment, Bridget. Thank you as well, Alex. Hi there. And again, so MX, I'm happy to add you to the list. I just need to know the date that you put yourself on the list, and your name, and I can find you from there. But I need you to give me that information if you'd like to be added back to the list. Hi there, Nikki. Thank you for confirming, Nikki. See, that's the way you do it. I like Nikki. Nikki's like, I paid for a reading on the 16th. There we go. That's what I need to hear. Just bear with me a minute as I get you on the list. Bum, bum. Hold on a minute. Wait, you paid for it on the 16th? Of what month? Wait, this is a month? Hold on, 16th. Wait, I'm looking here. Oh, I didn't write. Wait, 13, 14, 15. 16th. Today's the 18th. Okay. So on Friday, you're saying. Are you sure it was that date? Just if you can confirm that date for me, dear? Wait, because 16th was Friday, correct? I just need to confirm, dear, and we'll get sorted out. And Hannah, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. Can you send me the initial of where you sent the payment, dear? Because I'm looking on my list for the 16th. Oh, am I not? Because I did a dream for Nikki on the 16th. I've got that listed here. But if you can just give me the initial of where you sent the payment, we'll get you all sorted out. Okay? And Hannah, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. Grand Rising, dear. Nikki, I was going to get the last spot, but it seems there are plenty who want to get on it. That's so weird. I've been following you for months. Well, I need to confirm the list right now, Nikki, so you might be able to get on the list right now. And Ms. Weasley, thank you for the follow. Okay. Thank you for confirming. Let me just confirm you, Nikki, and we'll get you on the list. The first person who is on the list for today, by the way, is Nicole. Nicole, if you're here, Can you respond in all caps? Let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. All right. No problem, Nikki. We'll get you sorted out. One sec. And you never have to put your last name on. That's why I always say, I always like, you never have to put your last name. You just put your first name. It's totally fine. All right, one moment, dear. And just a reminder, friends, if you have information that you feel is relevant to our reading, for instance, if you have a dream that you would like interpreted, or if you have a past life that you would like more information on, you can include the information in the notes when you send the donation, or you can also post it. You can also post it. Yep, I've got you, dear. You're on the list. Thank you. All right. Or you can post it if you're a subscriber in our subscriber only Discord channel. All right, I've got you added to the list, and thank you, Ms. Weasley, for the gifts and becoming a member of my fam club. I like that. Oh my God. There's too many of us. No, there's never too many Nickies. Megan, you were on the list as well on the 16th. Hold on a minute. Megan, I've got you. You're next on my list. You're already on the list, dear. Absolutely. Okay, we're good now. Excellent. Second call. All right, so I've got a Nicole. Yes. Oh, wait, Nicole. Nicole, I've got you on the list already. You're the first person we're reading for today. Yes. Okay, I understand what happened. Yes, Nicole, you're I said first person. Sorry. I'm going to read the list again. Yeah, the first person on the list today is we've got Nicole, Megan, Heather, Eileen, and Alex. So the first person we're reading for today is Nicole. 810. What was the name we had you under the hold on? And yes. Retrograde confusion is contagious. Exactly. All right. Excellent. And the list is closed right now. But if you would like to get on the list for tomorrow, if you'd like to get on the list now, you'll be the first person read for tomorrow. You'll also have additional cards. Nicole. Well, that's why I got confused, Nicole. I thought you were the one on the list, but I got confused about that. Yes, you won one of the number things. Excellent. Well, do I have you already? 8:10 is your Thursday. Okay. I've got you here from Friday, but I also have you marked off. So what's your first name? Did I already add you to the list? Thank you, Bridget. All right. And Nicole. Yep. No, 8:10. I know. I just need your first name, dear, because I think I might already have you on the list. Kimberly. So I have you listed on Friday for winning that. But the thing I'm seeing is it says that you already had the reading, which is what I'm trying to figure out. All right. We've got lovely Cap here. Okay. All right. So Nicole, can you? Oh, you pay. Okay, that's what I was trying to confirm. Excellent. Okay. Okay, so that's my. Okay, I understand now. Okay, thank you for confirming. All right, the first person we're reading for today is Nicole. Nicole, can you let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer? And just a reminder, if you would like to get on the list for tomorrow, you'll be the first person read for tomorrow. All right, we've got the list sorted. We are all good now. Yep, excellent. I can see your comment, MX, but I'm going to ask again. I need you to give me the date that you sent the donation, and I also need your first name if you need to be added back to the list. So as soon as you can do that, dear, I'll be happy to confirm your spot on the list, but I need you to give me those things. You keep on saying that you sent the donation, but I need to know the date and your first name. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate that. You paid for it on the 17th of May. Yes, Amanda, I have you too. You're also on the list. Thank you, dear. Perfect. All right, we are sorted. All right, and you are going to be read for after Kimberly. All right, first person we're reading for is Nicole. Nicole, if you're here, can you respond in all caps? You said, and let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. Second call right now for Nicole. General, about connection with Justin. I got you, dear. 4 cards, please. Highest party, 5 cards, thank you. Highest party messages from Spirit, please. All right. I mean, I'm getting some kind of reading here, Nicole, in relationality to that connection. I feel like they're offering you something, but it has to do with the limitation of what it is that they're offering that's creating a little bit of friction between you and them. Because I've got them here, like I've got them in some kind of Knight of Pentacles energy, but the thing about this is there's something here about this energy. I keep on hearing there's a timing issue between you and them wanting to go slow or taking something slowly, like very, very slowly. And I keep on seeing that that it says to me like there's some kind of hurdle here in relationality to what it is that they're offering you versus what it is that you want as well. You know, I would make sure I need to stress this. Make sure that you're talking to someone about where something is going, because it does feel like an energy that's like desiring your attention in some way. But I keep on hearing attention without direction is not a relationship. Like direction, like it isn't like I keep on hearing something about events too. Like that's something that's strange that's coming through as I'm reading for this energy, which is saying like it's not about going places. It's not about I keep on hearing you can't cherry pick a relationship, which means, you know, like are you free right now? I got to tell you, everything you need to know with an energy like this, um, I keep on hearing they have to work on your timeline or not at all. Like this energy makes plans ahead with you, or you don't have plans, because something that I'm seeing here has to do with um and like it's saying to me something that I'm seeing here has to do with the recognition that they prioritize what they're doing with you, not what's energetically convenient. Like there's no you're not someone's you're not sitting on someone's back burner. And I keep on hearing if something slipped their mind, no it didn't. It's not about something energetically slipping their mind. And I keep on hearing even if there's something happening, they still like I keep wondering, even if something's happening, you can give someone an explanation in real time, is what I'm getting. Because for me, I'm seeing some kind of situation of someone coming back towards you and acting like something hasn't happened. And I keep on seeing that, like, you being able to say to them, like, this, um, like, this requires an explanation. I like that's what I mean. Like, this is, it's giving me like, and that's what I meant, like, making sure that you are clear on the manifestation goals. Cause I keep on hearing you're not there to keep someone company. If someone's trying to say that they're looking for if they're looking for company, like, that's what I meant. Like, company is not a relationship. A relationship is clarity in terms of what it is that you're building with and what you can energetically expect. It's nothing about like something slipping the mind or someone saying like, oh, I didn't understand. I keep on hearing something about you saying we couldn't have been clearer. And I keep on seeing somebody trying to come towards you in some way, like articulating and being like trying to like I keep on hearing like trying to sweep something up by saying that they got the date wrong or something like that. Like almost like trying to articulate some kind of communication um, disruption point between what was stated versus what was had. And I keep on hearing, remember, you couldn't have been clearer. Bottom of the deck. Yeah, I keep on hearing the same thing. This energy requires a barrier of initiation with you, which says you make plans ahead of time or you don't make them at all. Like it almost feels like someone who's like, well, what are you doing right now? Right. And like, that's what I keep on saying, like that you're not there to fill in the gaps of another person's free time. You're not there to like identify and recognize like what it is that you're building toward. So if this energy is like coming towards you and like building a very short timeline, I want you to remember that that's going to help you understand the energy that's prioritizing you here. Because that space or that sense of saying to someone, look, I'm not going to, like, I keep on hearing one time is a mistake, a second time is a habit. And I keep on seeing that there's something about this energy that this isn't the first time like something like this is happening, or something about you repeating yourself, or something about you saying things that I couldn't be clearer. So make sure that someone like your standards are not up for negotiation. Don't let someone create a point where you feel so exhausted reiterating something to someone that you just like allow them to like remove or lower your standards. If they keep on like, there's no exceptions to this is what I keep on hearing, because I do see the fact that someone has a life that's very logistically different than yours, but like that ability of saying like you can, I keep on hearing you can have like a bad situation isn't an apology. Like something bad happening does not exclude the ability to articulate to another person while it's happening. And so I keep on seeing like make sure that this energy isn't trying to apologize by making you feel bad for asking for an apology. Remember, they owe you one. You don't owe them one, is what I keep on hearing. Thank you so much for having that reading with me. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common that those that need these messages are here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. The list is closed, but if you'd like to get on the list for tomorrow, you'll be the first person read for. It is 3 cards for a donation of 29 or more, 4 cards for a donation of 23 or more for my subscribers, being semi-lio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I do not read for across these apps: pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. I'm going to take a minute to read over some of the comments that came through as it was reading. The next person on the list for today is Megan. Megan, if you're here, can you respond in all caps? Let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. Also, friends, we are at 34.9K likes. When we get to 50K, I will be gifting a reading back to the collective. So make sure you're tapping that screen. All right. Excellent. Yep. I got you, 810. On Discord, inside tea. Okay, got you, dear. Tea with the queen. Thank you. Thanks, Bridget. Yes. We were supposed to see each other, but they completely ghosted you. That's what I keep on hearing. Like I keep on hearing someone trying to come towards you and articulate the fact that they got the date wrong. And that's what I meant about being able to like say to someone I keep on hearing you couldn't have been clearer. Like it's not about like it's giving me like some kind of energy here of basically having to say to someone like and they're saying if it doesn't make sense, trust your gut on it because I keep on hearing you're a priority and somebody like I see someone who's like it's not it's like it almost feels like someone being like what are you talking about like don't let them come back to you in a way that they act like something hasn't happened. And Elevate, thank you for the follow. Grand Rising, Esteban. I mean, honestly, I gotta tell you right now, I mean, I gotta kind of prepare you. I would not be surprised if this energy is gonna come back towards you in some way, shape, or form. But that's why I keep on hearing, like, don't let them saying that they've been going through something. I keep on hearing, like, a bad situation isn't an apology. Someone saying that there's been something like going on in their lives doesn't it doesn't like they keep on saying like the math doesn't math. It doesn't it doesn't erase the ability that they should have notified you is what I keep on hearing. Like it shouldn't like I keep on hearing like and I almost feel like someone trying to say like that's what I meant. Like don't let someone come towards you with an excuse instead of apology because it almost feels like someone who's going to try to make you feel bad for asking for one. So just be conscientious of that. Let that be your closure until you hear this from this person. Because I see even now, like if you try to reach out to them, it almost feels like they're gonna like it's giving me a little bit of someone trying to play energetically clueless in some way. It's giving me somebody being like, "What are you talking about?" So I'm just preparing you for that. And thank you, Rosie, for the follow. You're so welcome, dear, and sending you so much support on that journey. All right, a love reading for movement. Thank you for having a tough time. Thank you. I'm having a tough time at love at the moment. Intuited to end it, but we love each other. Okay. Can I please get 4 cards, please, for movement? Highest priority messages from Spirit. Highest priority messages, please. I see someone who's going through a lot of issues in relationality to their confidence. I keep on seeing someone that um and this is the thing, like when we're not in our confidence, the things that attract us to another person will be immediately become the things that trigger us. Is what I keep on seeing. You are a very strong person. You need someone that wants to celebrate you in this space of being a strong person. But I see someone who's going through a lot of insecurity. And I keep on hearing that insecurity, everything you need to know about whether this relationship can be healed has to do with the difference between someone articulating about their insecurity versus projecting it onto you. And that has to do in the space of making sure that someone isn't, um, making false conclusions, um, like letting their headspace run wild in relationality to what they think is happening versus what you're articulating about. Because something I'm seeing here, like I see you in some kind of modality where you're trying to build into authenticity and clarity. I see you in a space of basically saying to another person, like, I see you being like very like open and articulate and being very clear about what it is that you want. But that's the difficulty. And this is why we talk about the fact that we navigate trauma to be ready to find the space of joy. I keep on hearing the message. Someone like dreamed about you. Somebody hoped to find someone like you, but they need to come into a space that they have to understand that they need to let the past go. They need to heal. They need to be able to be vulnerable, because I see someone working through a lot of inner child wounds. And this is why I keep on hearing too that someone has to heal their relationship to home, because when we haven't healed our relationship to home, when we find home and when we find our home in another person, you know, we will regress instead of stepping up to the plate. So I got to tell you right now, there may be a conversation that you may have to have, because I can feel the force of intensity of love between you and this connection. I can feel how much, you know, I can feel like I can hear someone say is scared, like saying, I'm scared to hold you because I'm scared to lose you kind of energy. But working through that fear has to be navigated in a space that they recognize that they don't project that fear onto you. And I have to tell you right now, I think that this is potentially a situation where you may have to have a conversation with another person about getting some kind of outside support. Because if this is a situation that you've kind of gone through, um, gone through some kind of repeating path work here, or working through another person's anxiety, um, if they're saying in some way, shape, or form that they don't have control over something when they feel that anxiety, that's usually a good articulation point as it relates to needing to get outside support for something. Um, because I think it's interesting, because I see someone who cares about you, but like their care is being communicated by way of fear, right? And this is why we have to heal from our fear, because like when we care too much, but we haven't healed our relationship to fear, um, it can feel like the love that we're giving another person is just like it's overly protective. It's overly um it's like it becomes like it almost feel like I keep on hearing it almost becomes stifling, because it's having to build into the context of almost constantly needing to reassure another person that what they're afraid of isn't happening. I want to give you some bottom of the deck energies, just something to keep in mind going forward right now. Yeah, like there's a lot of this here. There's a lot. It feels a lot like overprotectiveness. It feels a lot like overprotectiveness. But this is what I keep on hearing. In healthy relationship, we trust each other to take care of ourselves, right? Like trust is the space of not only building into the context of saying, I trust you, but But love is articulated in the difference between someone that says, I know what's best for you versus I want what's best for you. And I almost see some kind of situation here where someone is so protective that it may feel a little like domineering, or it may feel a little like overly covetous, is what I keep getting. Because it's not the fact that they don't care, but it's like the fear by which they're experiencing something is almost like creating a space of like we don't assume that we know better than the energy we're in connection with. We honor the energy that we're in connection with by trusting them to know a situation. And I keep on hearing some kind of arguments where someone's potentially saying, like, you're misreading something, or they know another's intentions. But when someone says that to you, when someone says, like, oh, I know what they're thinking, you don't know what you're thinking, what they're really saying is they're saying, I don't trust you to make energetic decisions. So make sure that make sure that you're having those conversations about the manifestation goals, but not just about the manifestation goals, but what it is, what it means to be able to trust one another, right? Because it's not enough, like our sense or desire to care for one another has to be in the space of mutually agreeing as to what's happening. And it almost feels like someone who doesn't like who doesn't trust your ability to like clock a situation or trust your ability to navigate something. But that's what I keep on seeing. A healthy relationship, we don't make each other doubt our instincts. We build upon them. We trust one another because we trust each other's judgment. Thank you so much for having that reading with me, Megan. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common that those that need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal reading. It feels kind of patronizing. That's the best way I can describe it, if that makes sense, dear. And that's what I mean about patronizing, which is like we don't patronize each other in relationship. Like we work together. We don't work in the context of saying, I know what's best for you. We work in the context of saying, I want what's best for you. I trust you to know what that directionality is. I want to thank you so much for having this reading with me, Megan. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. If you would like to get on the list is closed. But if you'd like to get on the list for tomorrow, you will be the first person read for. It is 3 cards for a donation of 29 or more, 4 cards for a donation of 23 or more for my subscribers, links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I do not read for across these apps, pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. Next person on the list for today is Heather. Heather, if you're here, can you respond in all caps? Let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. And I'm just going to take a moment to read over some of the comments that came through as it was reading. Interesting. He keeps saying we should move away to another state or country. Oh, I don't know what that means about he I don't know what you mean by that. I can't understand he loves in a nosy place or a reservation. No, I mean, and that's what I mean about kind of having to like make sure that you're articulating and talking about what feels supportive and safe, right? Like it has to do with recognizing, and I keep on hearing, we don't say everything's fine. We say, it's like the articulation, like again, like it's a lot of that trust me versus saying it's not about trusting. It's about mutually agreeing to what feels comfortable, you know? Thank you for confirmation on the reading. What do I say? A love is so big and good. Yes, exactly, movement. The love is definitely there. It has to do with the mutual appreciation on what it is you guys want to build together. And I can see someone trying to rush a process because they don't want to lose you. But I feel like the process of not losing you is rushing into a deeper commitment. It's doing the work to heal, like whatever this is between you and them that is creating a lot of that anxiety. Hi there, Heather. Welcome. You're so welcome, dear, and thank you. And I hope this helps. And I think that there may be something to be said here in a situation like this about getting some kind of outside intervention to talk about what needs to be fixed or what needs to be changed. Like I feel like a third party, like in the space of like even in a therapeutic environment here, might be very helpful, is what I keep on seeing. Oh, dream interpretation on Discord. Okay, that's what you meant. Thank you for confirming. I was a little confused by it. Oh, what a beautiful thing to say, Adam. With every heartbeat, time and space erase a sacred bond where love and light combine. That is beautiful. Tap to claim. Hi there, Cappy. I know I've got you, dear. Yeah, you can totally still hold the reading. I've got you on my hold list. Yep, I've got you, dear. Absolutely. I was wondering when you were coming back. All right. Did I have to write the dream in? No, 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 Heather. If you put it on the Discord, that's fine. All right. Just bear with me one moment, dear. And I'm going to pull up the dream in the Discord. And just a reminder, if you are getting a reading with me and you have information that you would like to share, for instance, if you have a dream that you would like interpreted or a past life that you would like more information on, you can include that information either in the notes when you send the donation or on the Discord. Okay. And also, friends, we are at 37.5K likes. When we get to 50K, I will be gifting a reading back to the collective. So make sure you're tapping the screen and we'll get to 50K in no time. All right. Oh, thank you. Well said. Thank you. You're so welcome, dear. No, you don't have to apologize for being late, Kathy. All right. You're so welcome, dear. And I get like, I keep on seeing like, there needs to be like, I keep on hearing you can't move something into a deepening connection to heal a wound around fear, is all I keep on hearing about that movement. And that's why I keep on saying, if someone's trying to scramble to like rush a process, or like saying like, oh, it's okay, well, like things will be better once we like I keep on hearing, if someone's saying things will be better once we move in together, things are not better. Things are not made better by deepening like an energetic connection. Like that doesn't fix, like that's like, it's not, I keep on hearing, it's not a patch. The solution is to fix what's happening, and then to celebrate. Like you celebrate the movement. You don't do it to try to fix something, is what's coming through. Thank you again, and sending you so much support on that journey, dear. Okay. All right. Heather is next. I have to get a reading on my recent dream. Oh, Heather, sorry. Is this inside tea or outside tea? Before we get started, is this something you're comfortable with me sharing, or am I keeping this private? Outside. Thank you, Heather. Okay, excellent. Okay, I have to get a reading on my recent dream. I had a few dreams of running, being chased. One of them, I was on a highway and there was buses. Friday night, I had another dream of running. I'm being chased, but I don't know who by. There were buildings, and when I wake up, I only remember parts of the dream. Okay. Can I please have 4 cards for Heather? Highest party messages from Spirit, please. Oh, and 5, because you got on before the live started. There's something interesting about these dreams that I'm seeing because I keep on getting the message that you're healing, you're having running dreams because you're in the process of healing an intimacy wound. And I have to stress this because they're showing me some kind of situation, and I feel like I'm seeing this because I feel like there's some kind of situation that you're healing from, some kind of karmic situation that you are having to chase after someone. And I'm seeing the fact that whatever that is, you've been letting go of it. And I keep on hearing that the thing about chasing after someone is it's awful. And I keep on hearing this is a message from your higher self. And they're saying to me that the thing about chasing after someone, when we chase after those that don't want the same thing as us, it actually can sometimes work to help us hide a fear of intimacy. Because when we're chasing after someone, we get to decide how much distance is there. When we reach for individuals that don't have the same manifestation goals as us, when we reach for individuals that say that they don't want us, when we reach for those that seem like they're moving in an opposite direction as us, it allows for a lot of a space of control because the one thing that you are protected from is from the intimacy wound. It protects you from the face of them running towards you. And I feel like there's something about this dream space that you're having all of these dreams of running away from something that is articulating that one, you've had a breakthrough in relationality to some kind of karmic situation wherein you are healing from some kind of situation or someone who is unattainable to you. But also allowed for that level of control because you knew that they would never come in proximity to you, right? It's always you reaching, them never overreaching. And there's something about these dreams that almost feels to me like they're trying to prepare you for some kind of deepened intimacy in a relationship. Because one of the things that we identify in the dream space is that often when we see methods of transportation, they can be indicative of the relationships that are in our life. So the fact that you're also articulating the fact that while you've got the basic gist of the energy of the dreams wherein there's running, the one that you can remember more clearly is the fact that you're on a highway and there were buses. This could be talking towards the fact that you're feeling some kind of expectation or you're feeling some of that intuition that a new relationship is coming towards you. One that is going to test your ability to heal, potentially in the context of intimacy, because they're going to want the same things as you, right? They're going to be moving in the same direction. And so something about the contemplation, about the fact that the dream is not you chasing after someone, but instead that feeling of being chased, it almost feels to me like it's trying to articulate and help you get ready for some of the way that might feel as you're healing an intimacy wound. Because here's the thing about it. healing intimacy wounds is awful. Healing intimacy wounds is like, I feel like the most awful stuff, because it sometimes makes us have that anxiety of feeling like that space of saying, oh, like it can feel confining. It can feel like there's nowhere to run, right? Because when love finds you, it's like, it's like there's no safety net. It's like you're building into the context of vulnerability, where that ability to let another person in can be very challenging to us, because it makes us have to confront like some of those wounds that we were able to avoid when we were working so hard to chase after someone, because that's what the intimacy wound says. And I feel like there's something about the higher self revealing these dreams to you to say it's awfully convenient, isn't it? Because when we're chasing after someone, we don't have to give a second thought to the fact that they might get too close to us. It's awful convenient, isn't it, that when we chase after someone, we're never worried about someone getting too close. But this is the new healing that you'll be unlocking when you start building into the healthy relationship, which sometimes feels like not necessarily the space of you being like chasing after someone, but you feeling the weight of another person coming towards you, and finding that ability to navigate it. I would be curious about your Sagittarius placements, because it feels very Sagittarius in here, is what I'm going to say. It feels very Sagittarius, because often the journey of Sagittarius is not the journey of saying, look how fast I can run, but having to feel the weight of being able to stand still and find that point of stillness that helps you heal the intimacy wound, when everything about like within the self, like desires that you break through or break away. I want to give you some bottom of the deck on this, which is, again, yeah, like it's interesting too, because the bottom of the deck on this is the four of swords. And so I do feel like there's something about this dream that is an energetic premonition, because it feels sometimes the energy that we have, the energy we get, the dreams that we get from guides, and the dreams that we get from our higher self will often try to prepare us for how something might feel. And it prepares us for how it might feel by giving us the context by which we can start to prepare ourselves for the energetic feeling. So I keep on hearing there's something about the way you feel in that dream space. It says, remember this feeling, because it almost feels like it's helping you understand that you might feel this as you're healing or you're working on an intimacy wound with an energetic partner. Because I need to point out, this is the most important part of that dream. What were you running from? You never articulated the fact that you were in any danger, right? But that anxiety point, that energy being like, I gotta go, I gotta go, right? Because I see here, like when I'm drawing these cards, right, it's working through the stabilization of the sure thing that makes you feel anxiety, whereas another is trying to offer something to you. So I feel like there's something about the dream that says the question you need to ask yourself when you're feeling that isn't how do I get out of here? The question you should be asking yourself is, what am I running from? So I want you to write down that, what am I running from? Because something about you feeling that and then not letting yourself activate on it, but asking yourself the question is going to help you try to heal a little bit of some kind of abandonment wound in relationality to healing. It's an intimacy wound that is, I keep on hearing, it's an intimacy wound that's masquerading as an abandonment wound, is what I keep on hearing. Thank you so much for having that reading with me, Heather. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common that those in these messages are here to experience them. We are doing personal readings. The list is closed. But if you'd like to get on for tomorrow, you'll be the first person read for. Everyone who gets on the list today will have additional cards tomorrow. 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of $23 or more for my subscribers, being Semilayo. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I do not read for across these apps, pregnancy and medical. Happy to do anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. Next person on the list for today is Eileen. Eileen, if you're here, can you respond in all caps? Let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. Also, my friends, we are at 44K likes. When we get to 50K, I will be gifting a reading back to the collective in the form of a random drawing. So keep on tapping that screen. We'll get to 50K in no time. Also, when you tap the screen, it encourages the live to be pushed out to those who have not received these messages before. So thank you so much for that as well. Eileen, thank you for confirming that your question's in that location. And I'm going to take a minute to read over some of the comments that came through as I was reading. All right. Oh, I hope it doesn't feel labyrinthian in the Discord. I mean, I know there's a lot of different sections, but I try to meet everybody. Everybody's been asking me to create them, Adam. Thank you as well, Movement. All right. Yes, thank you for confirmation on the reading, Heather. Hi there, Unicorn. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful, dear. Sending you so much support on that journey. I feel anxious. Thank you for confirmation. You're right. I'm never in danger. And that's like, I feel like that's what the dream is trying to help you with. I feel like there's something about the dream to help you face your fears and relationality to anxiety, potentially connected to intimacy. Thank you for having that reading with me, and thank you for being a subscriber. Okay. And let me just pull up Heather's question. Where were we? I'm sorry, Eileen. Let's pull Eileen's question up. Apologies. And Eileen, I believe you said, is this private? Just confirm if this is inside T or outside T. Yep, thank you. Not private. Okay, excellent. All right, outside T. Okay, so we're reading for Eileen. I would like a love reading update about moving. We had a really good one 2 weeks ago about how quick it was going to happen. So I would love to just have an update on that. No problem, dear. And thank you for confirming the accuracy of the reading. Can I please have 3 cards, please? 3 cards for Eileen, highest priority messages. I mean, it feels very much, it feels very, thank you for confirming. Yeah. Yep. I don't know. I remember, I recall, it's coming back now. I think if anything, it says to me very much the same space in relationality to, I keep on hearing like working in the space of acting like it's already happened, because if it's moving, I don't know if it's already started to move quickly, but I'm getting like a delightful surprise energy around something here, which is saying to me that the biggest thing to navigate has to do with being able to be energetically adaptable. I keep on hearing something like I can be there next week. Like there's something, but I'm also getting here like, I keep on getting the fact that this is some kind of move that's been some kind of long time coming. Like I keep on getting something about like what are like not waiting, or finding some kind of perfect thing, because I keep on seeing some kind of situation where you move very quickly, but then you don't stay where you are very long, is what I keep on hearing. Like you move there very quickly, but you don't stay where you are very long, because there's something about finding the right place. that is important. So I keep on hearing like the watchword for you right now is portability, is what I keep on hearing. The watchword is portability, which says to me the ability to say to someone like trying, like, trying something new, trying something out, not necessarily um, like, not necessarily committing to be in a certain place when you get there for a long period of time, because I keep on hearing the first step is getting there. The next step is trying something on. And there's something about that trying on, which almost says to me, like the place that you're looking, that you first land in, you find something better, or you find some kind of locationality that feels even better than the place that you found. So like the major message I keep on seeing here is think about, don't, and that's why I keep on hearing, don't be hasty, be portable. And they keep on articulating the difference between being hasty and being portable. Is hasty is doing something without a second thought, right? Hasty is just rushing to do something. Portable, I keep on hearing embrace. I don't know what your Gemini placements are, but they're saying embrace your Gemini energy, which says, and what does Gemini say? Um, I'm willing to try stuff on, right? I'm willing to try something on. I'm willing to try it out. I'd like to give this a test run, right? So that's what I keep on hearing. Like, think about test run energy. Think about taking something for a test drive. Think about saying, I'm going to give myself this much time to try something on to see if I energetically like it, because there's something about like a big leap, but then the portability to try something on when you get there allows you to find the space that's for you, that's just right. Because I keep on seeing, it feels like there's a little bit of this Goldilocks energy around you, which almost says to me like, and here's the thing with Goldilocks, right? Like Goldilocks has to get to, like Goldilocks knows that they want to get inside the cabin, but it's about figuring out the place that's just right for them in the space. That is the important part of that story, that like working in the refinement of finding the sweet spot is one that I keep on seeing. Like, it's like I keep on hearing a little, like one big leap forward, and then a little bit of like like a little bit of training wheels when you get there, is what I keep on hearing. So thinking about training wheels, thinking about giving things test run. Don't just like lock in somewhere, but allow that to be a little bit of that energetic refinement point. Yeah, like heavy, like this is, I've got two of pentacles in its upright, as well as the two of swords. I don't know if this is like a situation where you're looking for a roommate, is what I'm hearing, because and that's what I meant about like maybe not telling someone. I don't know why I keep on hearing you don't need to tell everyone your long-term plans. You don't need to tell everyone that you plan to stay longer, is what I keep on hearing. Because something about being able to build into the context that you say to someone, like, I'm just visiting, versus like, I've decided to stay. They're saying that that's not, like, that's accurate, because your ability to, basically say, I'm not 100% certain about where I'm going to be, right? Like I keep on hearing you have to say to someone, I'm looking for the right place. And almost saying like not the right place. Like it's almost like it's saying you saying something about I'm looking for the right place also gives you some kind of adaptability and being able to find the right person, is what I'm getting. Particularly and especially because I keep on feeling like there's something about you doing something to try to navigate and get a vibe check. You know what I mean? Like recognizing like what fits versus what doesn't. Thank you so much for having that reading with me, Eileen. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings. The list is closed, but if you'd like to get on the list for tomorrow, you'll be the first person read for. Next person we are reading for today is Kimberly. Kimberly, if you're here, can you respond in all caps? Let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. Also, friends, we are at 46.1K likes. When we get to 50K, I will be gifting a reading back to the collective. I'd also like to see if there's anyone on the list for today who would be willing to be moved to the list tomorrow. I'll be sure to put you at first on the list tomorrow. You'll also have an additional card in your reading. Just let me know. And I'm going to take a moment to read over some of the comments that came through as it was reading. Got it. General in Discord. Yep. Okay. I feel like it is definitely in that place, but it's potentially, I see you popping around. I see you trying things on, finding a sweet spot. And thank you, Janice, for the follow. You're so welcome, Heather. Hi, Fig. Oh, I'm totally okay. Oh, I'm sorry, so sorry you're still like not feeling well. I hope you feel better soon. And Catherine, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. Thank you as well, Miss Verse. Bridget, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. And Heather, thank you for sharing the live. Inside Tea. Alex, I really appreciate that. Thank you. I'm literally putting you first on the list right now. So all you need to do tomorrow is tell me you're here and and you'll be first. All right. And let me just pull up 810's question. And it's Inside Tea. Just bear with me a moment. Did you send it to me directly if it's Inside Tea? And Heather, thank you for sharing the live. Hi there. How are you doing, Sophia? Hi, Bridget. Thank you, dear. It was a different Bridget, honey. Different Bridget. General. Okay, thank you. So it's Inside Tea for the Discord. It's Inside Discord Tea. That's why you have to become a subscriber. You get Inside Discord Tea. All right, let's see. Inside Discord Tea. One moment. Okay. We are not, so this is Inside Discord Tea. So if you are a subscriber right now, you can head over to the Discord and you can have some tea. But if you're not a subscriber, no tea for you. I'm sorry. All right, just bear with me a moment as I read over the Inside Tea. What? What? Oh dear. Uh, uh, okay. Okay. Interesting. Can I get 4 cards, please? It has to do with their walls. It has to do with their walls. Because it says to me, and this is the difficult part, when someone recognizes, I can see some kind of situation here where someone really, I feel like there was a lot of authenticity that someone was trying to come towards you with in terms of recognizing the fact that they know that they put up walls. This was them creating a situation they were forcing themselves into a position where they knew that they couldn't escape. This was them literally like, I am going to put myself in an uncomfortable position so I can't escape into the place I would typically retreat. Because I keep on hearing that there's something about that conversation that they couldn't have it in the space that they typically would, because they've identified the fact that they have a tendency of running away and hiding from things. So I feel like the difficult, and the thing about this, and I keep on hearing like, they didn't do it for your benefit, they did it for theirs. It feels like they were kind of putting themselves in a space where they're being forced to confront something, because they were like, once I get there, I keep on seeing them say like, once I get there, I can't, I can't, like, the only way I can fix, the only way I can fix the awkwardness is by having the conversation. And that's like, you know, that's why I keep on seeing the fact that someone like said to themselves, I need to go over there while I'm inclined. I keep on hearing them say, I need to I have to do it now because I'm feeling inclined, and I don't know if I'll ever be this inclined again. I feel like there's something about the space of them coming in person was them stepping out of their comfort zone in such a way that they were putting themselves in a situation that they couldn't get out of, specifically so they were like forcing themselves. I would be curious about their Scorpio placements, because this sounds like a real scorpionic thing to do, man. like, but the thing about it, and this is the hard part, and this is what I would really stress to you, that's important. The difference about this and a boundary issue is whether they can stay consistent there. I'm going to say that again. The difference between this and a boundary issue is whether they can stay consistent there. Because if this is the energy, I'll tell you right now, if this is the energy that pretends or comes into the space of saying, like, I don't know what you're talking about, I don't know what got into me, they're not ready. If they come into that space like saying, let's pretend that never happened, if they're going through the context of being mortified about the fact that they opened up about something, that can also be something about with cancer placements. Like that is the whole thing is you don't apologize for being in the modality you should be in all the time. You'll know if the healing is sticking if they don't apologize for something that they should be in all the time. And so I think that ability of encouraging, like if it's quiet right now, like giving them some kind of vote of confidence, telling them like, look, I know how much it took for you to be in that space. Like, let me know what you need. Like that ability to kind of like help them not feel energetically mortified about it. Tell them what it means to you is what I'm seeing, because I already see someone that's freaking out because of how much they opened up. And so I keep on hearing everything you need to know about whether this is something that they can actually do, whether this is a boundary issue, is whether they're able to stay consistent with it today. Because if they're really willing to do it and you appreciate the fact and you say, I really appreciated that yesterday, and they say, well, it took a lot and I appreciate you being there, then it shows you the fact that they're starting to learn how to open up and it wasn't a one-time thing. This is something that they're willing to continue to stay in outside of their comfort zone. But if this is the energy that says, I went too far, I did too much, I shouldn't have said that, I don't know what I was thinking, then that's the energy that is having a boundary issue that you might have to be cautious about. Because I keep on hearing boundary issues are often those moments that someone opens up and then closes back up, and then opens up and then closes back up. And that can create a lot of trauma. So make sure that this is energy that's physically working to stay open and isn't going to traumatize you because they're having boundary issues, which means one day they're like open like this, and the next day it's like that never happened. Bottom of the deck, yeah. All about everything they said, it's true. It's about staying consistent with it, because boundary issues boundary issues are often indicated in someone saying, I've opened up like never before, and now I'm going to pretend it never happened. Like it doesn't, boundary issues do not create whiplash in intimacy. But often if we're experiencing someone with a lack of boundary issues, it can feel like the energy. It's not just about opening up, it's about staying open that way, not opening and closing like a clam. So thank you so much for having that reading with me, 810. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common that those need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings. The list is closed, but if you'd like to get on the list for tomorrow, you'll be the second person read for. Next person on the final person we're reading for today before we move into one card readings is Amanda. Amanda, if you're here, can you respond in all caps? Let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. We've also reached our 50K. I will be asking that whoever wins the 50K reading, we will be doing your reading tomorrow. But thank you guys so much for helping us get to our 50K milestone. Before we get Amanda, before you post your question, I'm going to do the 50K giveaway. Just bear with me a moment as I read over some of the comments that came through as I was reading. Okay. Tea with Regals. I like that. We got a new designation. And thank you for the follow, Sophia. It's all good. It's lagging a bit. It's lagging a bit, Sophia. Mercury's in Taurus. It's gonna be, we're gonna have lags right now. I'm like, who are you trying to convince? They were trying to convince themselves. Yeah. Like a cage bird. I can't tweet my song. I mean, that's the thing. That like the cage exists within, not without. No, this is real life. Scorpio, fourth house. Yeah, I'm working on opening up. He's not. We talked this time. We talked. No, he's not. We talked fine this morning. Okay, that's good to know. All right, that's good. That's a good sign. That's a very good sign, 810. And thank you for the gifts, Thief. All right. I even told him, and I could have been wrong to say this. I said, you'll know when you're ready. That's beautiful. I don't think, listen, if it came from your heart, I don't think there's anything wrong in saying that. You know? Hi there, TH. All right. So we got to our 50K milestone. You're so welcome. I do want to thank you as well for being here and receiving these messages. And if I'm ever saying your name incorrectly, feel free to correct me. So friends, we got to our 50K. I am going to be thinking of a number right now between 1 and 38. First person I see the post number will get the reading. First person I see that posts it. Not the first person that puts it up, because sometimes I see things in a different order. Nope. 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 Lovely Cappy. Congratulations, dear. You got it. Now you got 2 readings on hold. Congratulations. Thank you guys so much for helping us get to our 50K milestone. Yep. Well done. You and Fig now, man. You and Fig. All right. Second call right now for Amanda. Amanda, if you're here, can you respond in all caps? Let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. And thank you guys so much for participating and helping us get to 50K. While we wait for Amanda's question, I'm going to start 1 card readings for subscribers. Oh, hi, Amanda. Can you let me, never mind, pause on the 1 card. Can you let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer? Love. What is the true potential of my connection with Michael? It's worth holding space for. All right, can I please get, and thank you so much, 3 cards, please. Highest priority messages from Spirit. What's going on with that energetic connection? I need you talking clearly about manifestation goals right now. I mean, I feel like effectively, the one thing I will say about some kind of connection is I feel like it's healing. I feel like it feels like something, I feel like I see something coming towards you right now that is just in the space of good. It feels like it's reaffirming. I keep on hearing just in the nick of time is what I keep on hearing. But I also am getting some kind of sense around something that, you know, they say what they mean. and they mean what they say. So if this energy has articulated like the limitations of a relationship, or articulated about like what it is that you can energetically expect, because I keep on getting something here, and this is what I'm getting. I'm getting some kind of situation that you're just healing. Like it feels like whatever this is in your past, there was like a lot of falsehood. There was like some kind of a lot of energetic like manipulation. It feels like someone who like says one thing, does something completely opposite. And that's why I keep on hearing it feels like someone that's coming towards you in a space of helping you heal, because there's something about the authenticity. There's something about the clarity in terms of them not, like I keep on hearing the honesty of something. And I think that there's something about the honesty that might be a little bittersweet. That there's, and that's why I said, like, make sure you're taking someone's manifestation goals seriously. Because if there's something here that someone is articulating and saying, like, this is what I'm looking for, and it's not necessarily exactly what you're looking for, I'm almost seeing that there's something about the dovetailing of your manifestation goals at this time that feels, it feels supportive. It's helping you recover from something. It's helping you move away from something that wasn't for you with a lot more, I keep on seeing, with a lot more ease. So I would say, I think in that, but that's why I'm also saying make sure that you're having very clear conversations as it relates to what it is that you want versus what it is that they want. Because I keep on hearing very healing, even if not completely aligned, right? And we sometimes can have these moments. We can have these moments that we can build healthy relationship with someone, even if our manifestation goals are not the same, so long as we honor the clarity and authenticity by which we take what another person says. um, like like I keep on hearing, like as long as we navigate that space of honoring each other's energetic boundaries. So, make sure that you're having that conversation as it relates to setting healthy expectations sooner rather than later. Because I will say, even if there's something about, even if your manifestation goals are not the same, there's something about seeing how easy it is to navigate or speak towards what can happen between you and another person in relationality, to what it is that you want, even if you don't exactly want the same thing, that is very restorative from healing from any kind of trust wounds from someone that they said one thing, but they were doing something completely different. Like it says to me that there's something about this relationship that's helping to like remove a veil of confusion from you by showing you with clarity how simple it can be when we're navigating that place of authenticity. Bottom of the deck on this reading. Yeah, like I said, make sure that you're setting reasonable expectations in relationality to what you want and what they want. Um, because if I keep on hearing, you can't force your manifestation goals on one another. And there's something about this here that I keep on seeing. If someone's saying like, look, this is what that line is, like this is what I can energetically offer you, make sure you're not stepping over it, or make sure you're not trying to change their manifestation goals, is what I keep on hearing, and vice versa, right? Because that ability of doing so, like working through that articulation point, that's the difficulty thing. Because I think I see ultimately the fact that you and another person have very different things that you want here. But that's why I keep on seeing, making sure that you're honoring each other's boundaries, right? If someone's saying to you, like, look, this is what I'm looking for, not trying to convince them that they want something else, or not taking what they're telling you and saying, oh, well, if I build into a relationship, maybe I can change that. Maybe there's something that changes with time. Remember, we never look at another person's manifestation goals and say, oh, well, maybe that's something will change with time. We assume that what we say, what we want, is what we want, right? We don't come into the space of saying, we don't try to say, oh, like, hopefully, like maybe that'll change if I stick around long enough, or maybe if we build into enough of an energetic connection, they'll change their mind. Healthy relationship is not about working towards manifestations, trying to change another person's mind. It's accepting what another person is articulating upon, and allowing that to be the space of healing. So just be mindful of that, because I do see, like, I see a little bit, I keep on hearing someone say, I couldn't be clearer, or someone trying to like articulate what it is that they're seeking. So make sure that you're not trying to negotiate with someone as it relates to what you can offer them. Make sure that they want the same thing that you want instead. Thank you so much for having that reading with me, Amanda. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common that those that need these messages are here to experience them. We are going to get started on one card readings for subscribers. If you're a subscriber and have a question, go ahead and put your question in the comments. If you would like to become a subscriber, just hit that subscribe button at the bottom of the screen and you'll become a subscriber. And I'm just going to take a moment to read over some of the comments that came through as I was giving Amanda their reading. You're so welcome, lovely Kathy, and congratulations. You've got 2 health readings now. And Mika, thank you for the follow as well. We're kind of no contact right now due to some circumstances. Okay, thank you for confirming. And I hope this message helps when you come back into communication. Make sure you're being very clear about what the manifestation goals is and what you want, right? No negotiating. And if you guys want different things, like, remember, like, no settling, no saying like, oh, I'll just take this as it is. Say like, then I think that maybe we want different things. Highest priority for Bridget. All right. I mean, I just see you, like, it's interesting because I just see, it's so interesting. I know you're not in partnership, but I see you in some kind of energy of attraction. Like, it actually says to me, like, there's something about you not chasing things right now that is drawing the right energetic connection towards you. Bottom of the deck. Yeah, like, it's giving me a lot of that, like, always patient, never waiting, like, being very productive, like, following your bliss right now. Because I keep on hearing, like, there's something about the energy, like, I keep on hearing, like, you're in the middle of your love story. Like, this is how you're going to be meeting someone, is what I keep on hearing. It's like, it's a lot of that surprise energy, but surprise in a good way. Oh, thank you so much, Afifa. I appreciate that. And if I'm saying your name incorrectly, by all means, always feel free to correct me. Fig, so I know how I said I wasn't looking. Can I have one card on what's presented itself? Okay, I've got you, dear. I love it, Fig. Inspiration. I feel like you've got some kind of download that came through, but I need to point out, healthy download you can usually confirm. Yeah. I feel like it's helping you change your perspective on something. Sometimes we see something that just gives us clarity on a situation, but I almost feel like it's saying to me, it's helping you release a self-limiting belief about yourself in the process. Ava, hold on a minute. I lost my spot. I'm just trying to find it again. Surprise, surprise. Every time there's a surprise, surprise. I love it. I know. And I keep on hearing, continue to follow your bliss, because that's how you're going to find them, is what I keep on seeing. All right. Ava, one card on divine counterpart, please. I keep on hearing, never have you been more energetically ready. Because I keep on hearing you're no longer in a space of cultivating energy. You're not, like, no settling right now. Like, you're creating it for yourself. And I keep on hearing the energetic counterpart is going to appreciate everything you do. They're not going to demand more from you. Yeah, they're saying even now, like, look, this 8 of Swords today doesn't want to leave the bottom of the deck. You know, I feel like you've let go of a lot of energy that was trying to have you take care of them. Relationship isn't about, it's not about what we can get from each other, it's how we can give to one another. And I keep on hearing, like, remember, like, I keep on hearing your divine counterpart saying, I'm never going to look towards you to heal me. I heal myself for you. I feel like I see someone who's like doing that right now. Thank you so much, Ava, and thank you for being a subscriber. Gia, highest priority message for Gia, please. It's an abandonment wound. Don't let yourself get triggered. Don't navigate from your fear, right? Remember, fear is there to help us. You know, healthy fear is fear that is backed by evidence. Unhealthy fear, we're able to kind of look at and say, like, look, I know you've got good intention, but it's not helpful. Bottom of the deck. I feel like a lot of this, yeah, I prioritize energy that prioritizes me. Don't be chasing things right now, right? I feel like that's your mantra right now. Don't hold on tightly to energy that's running in the opposite direction. Just keep on affirming and saying, I prioritize energy that prioritizes me, and work in context of that, right? Don't hold, like I'm wondering, don't hold on to things too tightly right now. Thank you, Ava. It's correct, just the way you said it. Thank you so much, Afif. Thank you. All right, hold on a minute. And thank you for those gifts, Amanda. We are at 1 cards. Yes, Grace, we're at 1 cards. 1 card for Grace. Assessment of yesterday, accurate. Bottom of the deck coming out. Yeah. I mean, I keep on hearing you give someone the benefit of the doubt until there's no doubt. You know, but I also feel like you saw the fact that someone holds themselves in some kind of self-limiting belief. You know? Like I keep on hearing we don't project on each other. Is what I keep on hearing. There's a little bit, you know, I see, like, I can almost see, like, you're trying to give someone some kind of point of, like, helping someone appreciate, like, how special they are is what I keep on getting, you know? Fig, all I wanted was pheasant feathers, and I ended up with a whole lot more than that. When I realized I wasn't, oh geez, Fig. But like, you know, like this is what happens, right? Like, I mean, I don't know if you're talking about that metaphorically or practically, but you know, I keep on pointing out, like, a good manifestation changes us in the process of moving towards it. It's not about getting stuff. It's about finding ourselves. You're welcome, Gia. Yep. Hi there, Amber. Grace, thank you. I'm clearing my road and they want me to be, oh dear. I'm sending you so much support on that journey. It's always hard when someone's like, I miss the person you used to be. Be like, well, you know, I don't. Like, I don't. Thank you, Fig. Final call. I'm sending you support on that journey as well. Final call right now for 1 card readings for subscribers. If you're a subscriber who has not had a card pulled, go ahead and put your question in the comments. If you'd like to become a subscriber, just hit that subscribe button. Amber, I got you, dear. 1 card, advice from spirit. You know, you don't have to don't convince someone why, like, if you have to convince someone how to treat you, that is not the person for you. This is not kindergarten, is what I'm getting. Yeah. If you're not for everybody, a good energetic connection is one that honors your no just as well as they honor your yes. That's how you identify not being the means to an end, right? It's respective of recognizing what that work is. How can I be that person? She was in so much pain. Sending you so much support on that journey, dear. Fig, he thought I was because of how I conduct myself in another chat. Wow, that sounds very interesting. Huh, intriguing. You're so welcome, Amber. My friends, final call for any of my subscribers who, I mean, that's what happens when you assume, right? Thank you so much. Final 1 card for Haley. Highest priority message. Woo! That is not, I can't read all these cards. Okay. That's fascinating. I'm going to read the top. There's a lot here. You know, I feel like don't let someone project on you, right? This is giving me a little bit of like, I'm rubber, you're glue. And like, it's not like, you know, it's not like, don't let someone get it twisted. And it feels like someone's trying to project a lot of stuff onto you. Their projections, like this is why we say that our feelings for each other are not like, this is what we mean by non-attachment. We're not responsible for the feelings another person has for us unless those feelings are confusion, because confusion can be met for clarity. The way another person feels for us isn't our responsibility. It also doesn't require you to be a mind reader, is what I'm getting. Yeah. You know, like I see someone being like, I thought you were an intuitive. A healthy relationship is helped by being energetically intuitive. It doesn't rely upon it. It does not make it vital. It shouldn't feel like a relationship shouldn't feel like a pop quiz, is what I'm getting. Sending you so much support, dear. All right. General for Heather, please. You have a beautiful day, Amber. Don't get focused on what's not working. Remember, ever patient, never work, like never waiting. Don't focus on what's going wrong. Focus on what you can do to fix something. And if things are not going right, you become that flashlight. Bottom of the deck. Yeah. Again, don't worry if another, like, let them have their, like, if someone, it's not your job to change everyone's opinion. I know sometimes it feels like it is, but you know, I keep on hearing you can respectfully agree to disagree with someone. You know, this is what we do. We don't need to agree with everything, but we also like there's a limit, is what I'm getting. You know, I can almost hear you saying, I don't know how to tell you that you should care about people, is what I keep on hearing. Sending you so much, and that's the thing. Like sometimes we reach those impasse points when we realize someone doesn't hold the same things sacred as we do. Like that's okay, is what I hear. You know. All right. Thank you, dear. Have a beautiful day, Bridget. My friends, I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages. We will be back on tomorrow at our normal time. So that will be at 8 a.m. PST, 11 a.m. Eastern. If you would like to get on the list for a reading tomorrow, all you need to do is send the donation today. You'll have an additional card in your reading. Thank you to those who are accommodating and having being read tomorrow. If you became a subscriber today, welcome. I encourage you to head over to our subscriber-only Discord channel to introduce yourself to the collective. You'll also find in the perks section, in the welcome wagon area, you'll also find in the perks section a special coupon code for the tarot class subscription program in the perks section. Our next class is June 11th, and we'll be studying the Temperance card. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages. Huge thank you to my followers, old and new. Thank you for spending your afternoon here and sharing in these messages. Huge thank you to my subscribers, your ongoing support. Oh, and thank you. Fig also points out to get to the Discord, you have to go through the sub perk ×2. I don't know what that means, but thank you so much for pointing that out, Fig. Huge thank you to my subscribers. Your ongoing support means the absolute world to me. And thank you, as always, to my moderators. I hope you guys have an absolutely beautiful day. Please take care of yourselves. Please take care of one another. And we'll do this again tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone.